Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live on a fantastic Friday night. It's a doubleheader Friday here at the Wrestling for Life Network as we bring you AEW Rampage. But first, we got WWE Smackdown New Year's Revolution. We got a triple threat. We got a couple of number one contenders on the line. We might have some surprises. We might have a whole lot more to get into tonight. But me and that pretty face going to run you through everything going on in the wrestling world. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. It's a Friday, and we are ready to go again. The channel that just watches more live wrestling than anybody out there. Got another live stream for everybody. I hope you're doing happy, healthy, and well. And I hope everyone out there is ready for 3+ hours, actually 4 now because we're here early, of wrestling coverage. It's going to be a fun night. Lots to figure out, lots to get into. But I will remind you who's going to take you through this little wrestling journey tonight. I am Mr. Everynight, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick. And yes, we have the first Friday Night Smackdown of 2024, and dare I say, I argue it could end up possibly being the best Smackdown of 2024.
Lots to happen, lots on the line. I mean, a triple threat, LA Knight, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, a number one contender match. The tournament winner, Logan Paul's in the house. KO going to take on Santos. We got a couple other matches on the docket as well.
Michin versus Io Sky.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, that's right. Me
right.
and you. So, yes, we're going to get into all that here tonight. I see that chat filling up already. We will get to the chat and say hello. But it's been a crazy week in the wrestling world. Lots of rumors and lots of things going on. And again, if you want to talk something wrestling, get in there. Don't forget, we have the super chat. We have the super stickers. We try and click on as many of those chat messages as we can. But y'all making it a challenge, and I appreciate it.
Right. Well, even tonight, though, we've already kind of expect some surprises, and we've even been told to anticipate some surprises because we've also got Pete Dunne and TBD taking on Pretty Deadly, and you and I have gone back and forth of who the mystery tag partner might be.
It's so funny. I saw a lot of reports coming out today of like internally in WWE, it's believed either Tyler Bate or Sheamus is good. I'm like, we've been saying this for weeks.
Like, no shit.
We've been waiting for Bate to show up. Sheamus has been MIA and was apparently healthy and ready to go back in December, but they didn't get him on TV. So, yeah, I mean, I said Sheamus, you said Bate. We're going to find out who the right answer is on this one. But, yeah, I mean, either way, there's an argument to be made for both, right? The former leader, I guess, is the group disbanded? Could they all work
I would
together?
say so at this point. They've gone their separate ways here.
Yeah, it feels that way. So, we will find out tonight. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to pop for Tyler Bate. The fact that he's up, you know, if him and Dunn, if we could call him Dunn, become a tag team moving forward, it might not be a bad thing for business. So that intrigues me for sure. And of course, a lot of talk about AOP returning maybe tonight, maybe sometime soon. So I know
you know me, AOP.
Yeah, I'm down with AOP. Let's go. Especially if they got Paul L. Ring. Let's do it.
And they're allegedly going to be a part of this whole faction with, I guess, Cross, Ring, Scarlett, and the AOP. Yes. Now, I don't know. I think the only thing that why we expect them to be here tonight is because it's New Year's Revolution, basically the definition of WWE's premium live events. I feel, and because they were kind of teased, someone went frame by frame in the last Karrion Kross video and just saw 2 big shadows and like, that's got to be okay, AOP.
Well, it was 3 shadows and it definitely looked like AOP with a little bald man in the middle. So could it be someone else? Perhaps, but I think everybody's leaning towards
it's Don Fallis. What's Don Fallis doing in the Impact Zone?
Right? It's Jinder Mahal on his knee. But yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy week. I like what the WWE has done this week to start off, the new year with this, New Year's week. We got day one, we got New Year's Evil, we got our special preview show from last night, which might have been a dud from a lot of reports. And now we get New Year's Revolution, all gearing up and heading towards Royal Rumble, Nick. Something I wanted to ask the people who are already here nice and early, including my buddy. What do you think about the fact that WWE nowadays announces participants in the Royal Rumble more than they used to?
I've seen this going around a
Yeah.
lot online, and I kind of agree with it. And it could just be because we were kids back then and couldn't count past our fingers and toes. And
Maybe.
Right. We didn't have all the Twitter machines and the Facebooks and the Instagrams and everything. But it does seem like they'll only leave out like maybe 3 vacant spots at best. Then it kind of leaves out any sort of a mystery, I feel. Before it used to be you'd only have like a couple big names declare.
Yep.
You get your Hogans, your Machos, or whatever. They'll be in the Royal Rumble. And then the rest of it was all, who the fuck else?
Right? You would get the poster. I remember, like, I got etched in my head for whatever reason. I think the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
where it was like the whole ensemble, everybody in the company was on
the whole roster on one
90,
poster.
91.
Yeah.
And the little store across the street where you could rent like 3 wrestling movies for like a week and nobody cared for like $3. It was the best shit. But I remember where they would just put all the wrestlers on the box, and whoever showed, and whoever didn't, you didn't really care about. So yeah, do I think there's a necessity for a Punk to say I intend to win the Rumble, or a Cody? Yeah, we got Shinsuke, we got Becky. But I mean, I think I would cap it. Like, leave 20 spots unknown, leave 25 spots unknown. The more surprise, the better.
Absolutely. I should know 27 of the 30 participants before the match even starts.
And I feel like last year we definitely knew like 29 of the 30. Like, even though there was speculation and we were hoping against hope that some of the names that we thought were going to be in there wouldn't, but they were.
Right.
So I'm really hoping this year has a different vibe to it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. And again, that's Royal Rumble 2000, 2001-ish, I think we were talking about there. And that's prime Triple H era. And like we've said, DX is now running the place. So,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, folks. We will quickly say hello to the early birds because Damien's in the house. Always looking forward to some stuff. There's expected to be a return tonight. Well, if AOP isn't that return, is there anyone else that could potentially return tonight?
Tyler Bate, Sheamus. Well, especially Sheamus.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, still part of me has this little devious hope of, like, Sasha Banks. Like,
could you imagine?
Just because I love the chaos.
Some men just want to watch the world burn, Mr.
Yeah,
Wayne.
I'm in for that. Let's go. Let's mix it up. Juan's back in the house. Good to see you, Juan. He's predicting Authors of Pain. Rest in peace, David Soul. Eric Tate, good to see ya. T's and P's to David Soul. Juan's eating already. No, tonight is Friday. No eat. We were talking about this before we came on. Tonight is the no eat night.
Yeah, tonight's no eat. Monday's eat.
There you go. Mondays we eat good. Fridays no eat.
No eating.
What's up, Richard Jr.? How you doing? Yes, we are live early tonight. When we're just sitting around talking, we're like, why don't we just hit, go live and let y'all listen to what we're talking about.
We got plenty to talk about, though, too. You mentioned Sasha Banks. I could talk about how my scarf, I think, might be collecting dust here potentially in the not too distant future.
We can talk about that. That's a really interesting topic, Nick.
Yeah. So not to derail you going through the comments, but for those who don't know, it's been pretty much reported that, I think it was the Observer that reported it, that MJF obviously has a shoulder issue and everything. He's trying to avoid surgery and get it treated with rehab, which could take, I think they said a couple months or so. But if he ends up having to have surgery, he's pretty much out for a year.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're talking about Charlotte Flair just went on the shelf for approximately 9 months. We'll see how that plays out.
Right.
Unfortunate, when we heard the news about Kenny getting sick and, unable to, indefinitely out of the company, we talked about this, going heavy with MJF at the end of the 2023. He was really the center of that AEW universe. That's a big missing piece. I hope he gets healthy. He's a young man. You hate, physical injury to impede him from advancing his career. But yes, this definitely puts a lot of things up in the air for Tony Khan and the company trying to figure out where they drive things right now.
100%. And granted, though, obviously, I hope Mans is 100% can get back to 100% as soon as possible. And there's nothing but healthy, happy, all of that. Obviously. But I think with the whole MJF is gone forever, and maybe we do actually take some time away from MJF, like you mentioned, of they became so reliant on MJF being the entire show that no one else had to actually do anything. So now it's really, you've got to nut up or shut up here, and we're really got to be this new era of AEW. And then when MJF comes back, if he comes back, I think we all kind of assume he's re-signed. It'll be that big, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You hear the glass shatter for the first time in a year.
Yeah, you get that people fucking lose their mind. It's going to be huge. And again, there's undeniable. I don't think anyone out there argues the idea of MJF isn't good. I don't know. I haven't heard many people be like, that guy sucks. I mean, you might not like his personality, but what he does
you think MJF sucks, then sorry, it's you that sucks and not MJF.
The Scarf Man is not putting up with any of this shit.
No, you can have that. That even what I'm mad at.
Right. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I hope he gets better sooner than later. Again, I don't know why, but I kind of I find myself second guessing anything that comes out of AEW, especially when it comes from reported on the Wrestling Observer. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to believe.
But could he actually still be legitimately a free agent? I think most people, at least the Twitterverse and your diehard AEW fans, seem to be fully convinced that he's absolutely undeniably re-signed. Granted, we both talked about you don't do this story, I feel, unless he's re-signed before going into it. But what if he really is a free agent and he just now has this, but nothing but time for this whole thing to just build the whole time?
Yeah, you know what? It would kind of blow my mind. I mean, I think I've said it on here before of, if Tony Khan, for all the mistakes Tony Khan has made and all the positives he's made, I'll give him some credit. But with all that's happened, the fact that, if you went into this without MJF locked up, I mean, I would be shocked. Like that whole thing before where it was storyline and he stayed away for money and then the double return. Like, if that wasn't Tony Khan signing him to an 8-9, give him the Jericho contract. All right, whatever we gave Jericho.
I don't know. The NDA not included.
NDA not included, right? So that's the thing. He has to have this man locked up because he's so pivotal to the company. Like, if you don't have Kenny, if you don't have MJF long-term, those are two gigantic holes. No offense to a Jay White or an Adam Page. They're not MJF. So whoever Joe's going to take on is not MJF. And that becomes the challenge here.
Yes, but that's the thing is, like we talked about, of how they've been so reliant on MJF. You can't be that reliant on one person for that company to be successful. So now this is nut up or shut up. You all want to be the stars that you say you are? Prove it.
Yeah, now you have an opportunity here with Swerve and Jay White. Like, I really liked what they did with Jay White on Wednesday, him coming out. I thought his promo was, for once, he came out and cut short, sweet, to the point. It came off badass. The crowd responded to it. He dropped the mic. He ran to the ring and got in a fight. Instead of those long soliloquies we were getting from him before, they did a really good job with Jay White this week.
There you go. Well, and I know you weren't the biggest fan of the match, but I think they're doing better with Takeshita. Darby's the perfect guy to throw around and be doing super German suplexes to and everything with that, because the man's going to fold like an accordion.
Yeah, well, they're going to follow that up with another tag match between Takeshita with Hobbs taking on Sting and Darby. We get Sting and Darby tomorrow against the Workhorsemen. This is the weirdest retirement tour I've ever seen.
You got to get that Jericho stank off him. So
holy shit. But what's up, Sophie? How you doing? What's up, big dog? All right, he's eating away already. Sophie, Money in the Bank of Canada, good for them. Yes, I know the American fans were a little pissy, but us in the red and white we're celebrating yesterday with the major announcement.
I saw somebody say it online with how some people might be complaining about WWE doing so many international shows. Their response was just get a passport and move on.
Yeah, get over it. And I mean, here's the thing. We talk about it, Nick, is, they've been to Chicago a bunch. They've been to different places, along the West Coast, East Coast. They live in New York. That's their stomping grounds. When you come to Toronto, when you go to the UK, when you head over, overseas, now we're going to get Australia in the mix. These crowds, like we talked about it, Puerto Rico might have been the crowd of the year. Montreal was right there neck and neck with them.
Right.
And that's what we want as wrestling fans taking in the product from home. That energy is infectious. Like, you need to hear that energy in the building. It gets you pumped and excited for the show. So I'm not saying all the American crowds are a little flat, but there's a different level of excitement when you get it once
Mostly.
Okay. I was trying to, keep.
Yeah, no, I'll say it as the American representative. Yes, this is a call out to every American wrestling fan. You want more shows in the U.S.? Act like it. Be excited when you go to the shows.
Mm-hmm. Like, you guys get WrestleMania. I want you guys blowing the building off. Like,
Pause. Big pause.
I want you blowing the roof off the building. How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
We catch Joe Black doing weird things to the building. We might get in trouble. But yeah, no, you got it. Tropicana Field. You're gonna pack that place. Go insane. Like, don't just wait for the high spots and the surprise moments. Cheer for the wrestling.
Yeah, because you don't know when the next pay-per-view you're gonna get is.
Right? What are the wrestling fans gonna say next year or the year after if WrestleMania 41 or 42 is in the UK? Oh, I can't believe they did that.
There were some people that thought that was going to be the announcement, is that they were going to announce a WrestleMania coming to the UK.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania Wembley, but I really am. Just for, again, some people like to watch World Peace. Right? So, no, I mean, exciting times for sure. Larry, how you doing? Sophie, definitely feeling it tonight.
I was going to say, we got Safet, we got Tony, we got CX, we got Ricky out here talking about the triple threat. We got Trevor. I think I saw Casey in there. We got Keyshawn. We got Juan still. We got everybody popping off. And again, this is folks why we say make sure you got the super chats and the super stickers and the memberships and everything with that, because we talk a lot and y'all talk a lot, and sometimes y'all be even just talking to yourselves. So if you want to make sure you get your comment read, you got to hit that super chat.
Brother Fluff is with us. I got my peach sweet tea. Let's go. Let's do this. All right.
That's 100% what's in here.
Tihante, how you doing? Greg, TJ, yo, what's happening? Happy New Year to y'all. What's good? Waiting for Smackdown. Yeah, we were waiting too. That's why we're here. We're here a little bit early. We got some time to kill. But we're looking forward to it, and we figured there's enough going on in the wrestling world that we can come out and, hang out with y'all for a little bit extra, especially coming off a week where the channel's been extremely busy, and we appreciate it. So why not talk to the people a little bit more?
Well, I guess speaking of talking to the people, do we get Roman Reigns responding to The Rock tonight?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if he's going to come out and cut a promo. I think he'll be very much in the same vein as Dwayne. That, very, subtle. Like, there'll be spots where he's digging at the Brahma Bull for sure. But keep in mind, there still is a triple threat for someone to challenge him at Rumble. And I think they got to be a little cautious, because if all we're talking about is how, I'm coming for The Rock and The Rock and The Rock and The Rock, you don't want to look past one of the three contenders on the screen.
Yeah, that's very valid, very true. I think it'll probably be, if anything, it's more of one of those subtle nods, or he'll say a line that's kind of sounds slick, and you'll get the ooh from the crowd. Yeah. But yeah, it's what?
You'll look at Paul and be like, "Do you smell something? Do you smell that?"
Yeah,
I don't smell anything.
Or even it won't even be Roman that'll say it; it'll be Paul that'll say something.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like you said, that you've got to kind of slow play this, because even if we're doing it at the Chamber, that's still a bit away. You can't blow your whole load here, because then Dwayne will be gassed by the time we get to the match. Yes, pause.
Yes.
And like you said, you don't want to overlook Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight at all. That instantly kills them, or at least diminishes them pretty harshly.
Especially with all three of them being pretty good contenders, and you can see any one of the three being the new world champion or the universal champion, but you got to make us believe that it's in contention. If we're looking past these two, at least storyline wise, you got to be very cautious of that. So I think there might be subtle pokes, but I don't think we're going to get anything overly, egregious yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's, let's work through Rumble, and then maybe more gets told at Rumble.
Yeah, well, because if Dwayne didn't show up on Monday, we would have been much more excited than we are now, I feel, for this triple threat and for the match at Rumble, because I thought it was lining up where we were going to get Randy Orton versus Roman. And
I think we're going to get Randy Orton LA Knight.
What?
I think we're going to get Randy Orton LA Knight coming out of this situation, possibly. Or
coming out as in that they face Roman?
No, like they're going to face each other when it's all said and done.
Oh.
Yeah.
So who do you have winning the triple threat?
AJ Styles.
Okay. Interesting choice there.
Right? That's my little prediction.
That's not a bad choice, because to me it's whoever wins this isn't in the Rumble. So
true.
I kind of almost want Randy in the Rumble, maybe even in the Final Four.
Fair enough.
But like I said, if The Rock hadn't shown up on Monday, I think we would have all been kind of anticipating, or at least most of us would have been anticipating, Randy versus Roman at the Rumble, because it seems like that's been the main story they've been building out of everything. I thought we were going to get AJ versus LA Knight out of this instead of Randy versus LA Knight.
We might get AJ LA Knight. I'm okay with that too, especially with the new chip on AJ's shoulder. Right. LA Knight so over as a babyface. I definitely could see that working the shuffle, push Randy to the forefront, which you've already kind of had. That's why I kind of went against the system. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's still going to be a good match. And again, if it's one of those situations, maybe Roman beats whoever his challenger is, and then The Rock shows up at the Rumble to really throw fuel on this fire. Time will tell.
Right. As Keyshawn says, where's the OC? AJ kind of told him to piss off.
Yeah, he kind of said, well, we're not sure. It's undecided.
And then when are we getting Lashley versus Roman?
I don't know. I don't care about Lashley versus Roman, to be honest. I'd rather see like each one of those guys get a turn before Bobby. No offense, Bobby.
I kind of do want, at least though, at one point, want to see Lashley versus Roman. I just want to see it just for a big beefy boy slapping meat, and just those two fucking spearing each other in the middle of the ring. Good God.
Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, they've had some battles in the past. I like Bobby. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. He just doesn't, and even with the new Hurt business, he hasn't really woke me up and been like, oh, I can't wait for Bobby to go after this. I mean, look at him. He didn't even make it. He's not even the U.S. title contender at this point. Roman's supposed to be on Smackdown tonight. Rock showed up on Raw. We will see The Rock show up tonight. Nobody's whispering about The Rock showing up tonight. So if he showed up, it'd be a big surprise. But no, they got to be near him. Like if he happens to be in the neighborhood.
I saw someone online literally mapped out when Smackdowns and stuff were around cities for the UFL that he's now promoting and everything. And literally just playing of, well, he'll go here and be at this show because then he can promote this there. Like this is all just the Rock Dwayne promotional tour 2024.
Right. Where's my
fucking presidential campaign for Dwayne?
Right. No kidding. Number of possible, I think we would set the over under on possible returns at what? 2.5?
Line at 2, because there's gonna be 2.
We're feeling like there's gonna be at least 2. So
well, there technically does. Tyler Bate, is that a call up or is that a return? Sheamus is definitely a return.
Sheamus would be a return, a short return, but he's there. AOP's outright a return, and count as 1 for the record.
So then, do we want to do 1.5? Set the line at 1.5.
I like setting it at 2 because what if there is a third return? What if there is, and again, it doesn't have to be anything astronomical. It could just be somebody we haven't seen a lot of. I think we'll set the line at 2.
Oh, well, that plays into perfectly of March's comment here of saying, where do you guys think Mercedes ends up?
Man, listen, I will give the lady credit, and it's what I talked about with Bray Wyatt, what I talked about with CM Punk, whether you love or hate Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, she has the entire wrestling world talking about her. I will give her full marks. The AEW fans are praying and hoping. The TNA fans are rain dancing and hoping for the best. And the WWE fans are just kind of expecting. So, I mean, it's a very interesting talk. And it's changed from week to week, day to day. The reporters are reporting different shit. I saw reports today of, like the WWE is not out of the question. Then I saw other reports. It's been confirmed they've talked. We know they've talked, but talking means nothing. So, yeah, I'm leaning AEW.
I think everyone is, and honestly, I know personally, I don't care. That's just my personal opinion. I think AEW is the outright favorite because I think last I heard, and I don't even know how factual this is the discussion now wasn't over money. It was now over the using the Mercedes name and all of that.
Yeah, I heard it was, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's something along. I heard similar, and then that they were plotting the return.
But this is, again, to me, this feels so much now like professional sports free agency of like they're the issue on the contract isn't the dollar amount, it's the years on the contract or the team or player option in the third year, that type of shit.
Absolutely. What's the bonus structure and shit?
Right, incentive based. They're arguing over incentives, or they'll at least maybe Sasha will end up like Russell Wilson, and they'll just tell her you have to adjust your contract and essentially stay on the bench.
It happens. And listen, one of my bold predictions for 2024 was that Sasha Banks would be in the Royal Rumble. So I might be horribly wrong very soon, but if I'm right, hold on tight.
Right. Pause. I like Sonny's comment here about Julia is a priority signing in the opinion of WWE. However, she wants to take time off after leaving Stardom. When her contract ends in March, WWE confirms that they expect her to go to NXT, but I think the follow-up's talking about how she's intending to take time off after Stardom to actually try and learn better English.
Yeah, I mean, again, especially in the American market, you just want to be able to. I mean, with Triple H, I think it's less of an issue, but it does help to be able to convey yourself to the bulk of the audience, right? But we saw it with with Asuka, with Shinsuke as of late, of let people just be themselves, and then it will work. So, very interesting story, very interesting take. I think she's a very talented lady. Yeah, she's going to go to NXT. Also, with the rumors of why do I always forget
Camille?
Her name? Yeah, Camille. I always want to call her Giselle Shaw, but it's Camille.
No, I just think Captain and Camille, and then you get Camille.
Right, but yeah, Camille also going potentially was offered an NXT contract as recent as a couple days ago. So, yeah, I mean, it's almost an arms race right now, right? I've seen people from AEW fandom putting out like the AEW women's roster of like, look how stacked it's becoming. And all they did was add Deonna Purrazzo to it.
Add one player.
Right? And then there's the people like WWE has almost 40 women on roster right now, not counting their NXT talent. So, again, it feels like a bit of an arms race, which is good for us, good for the fans, good for the wrestlers. So, yeah, we'll see. But I'm still saying Sasha Banks in the Royal Rumble until I'm proven wrong.
This ain't a scene. It's a goddamn arms race. I still think that it's going to end up to her going with AEW. I think it's just personally she's going to come down to she'd rather be the right now proverbial bigger fish in a smaller pond than be where she was before. As far as Julia going to WWE, I think it's a fantastic signing. I find it very interesting that she chose to want to take time off to try and get better at English so she could sit there and, like you said, to the American audience, be able to cut a promo and everything like that. Now, granted, we've seen all the subtitle promos and everything, which is so great, but that she chose to do it, good on you. Yeah. Clever idea as hell. I think at least by 2026, if not by 2025, she'll be a world champion WWE.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it. Like, I mean, if you break her in properly, and if you could add, like, in my head, seeing her, be added to the SmackDown roster. Yeah, absolutely. She's gonna have bangers with with Kyrie, with Asuka, with Bayley, with
maybe a Trinity who might be coming back.
Trinity, again, this story is a very unique one, and we'll talk about that as well.
Is that why potentially you think Sasha's coming back? If Trinity comes back, they come back as a team?
I don't know if they come back as a team, but it's like they left together, they could come back together. You know what I mean? And maybe not like, a hand in hand, but hey, I'm going to go back. Are you going to go back? I don't know. Are you going to go back? Like, that's kind of how leaving went. Like, I can't take this shit anymore. You know what, girl? I'm out. I'm out.
I don't know. Everybody kind of initially made it seem like Sasha left, and well, Naomi's were like, fuck, if you're out, then I guess I'm out too.
Right? So, I mean, again, at the end of the day, I think that Sasha definitely is a different case, but everybody from all reports, and nobody's reported otherwise, that Naomi's going to finish up this contract, and they're like, she could return by the end of the month. Well, what the fuck's at the end of the month? Yeah, we kind of know where she might return.
But do you think though that could have been, like we talked about it even on the stream, that a lot of people thought that was going to be a bit of the announcement from Triple H? I know we got the Money in the Bank in Toronto announcement and everything, and some people kind of were hoping that wasn't the only announcement that we got. A lot of people thought that it could have been a potential working agreement or anything like that between TNA and WWE, or at least, hey, Trinity is going to be in the Royal Rumble, Mickie James is going to be in the Royal Rumble, anything like that.
Yeah, no, and again, I didn't expect it because I still don't quite believe what's working out. Now, it doesn't mean we can't get it. It doesn't mean that they're not going to have some partnership or working agreement. But it's, again, we talked about it last night, you and I, of like building ourselves into this preconception of what we believe. Oh, the dirt sheet said it. It was on Twitter. It has to be happening. And then it doesn't happen. They're like, well, fuck's sake, they told us it was going to happen.
You didn't do what I fantasy booked you to do. But
right.
Granted, so that's fair, because then you still Trinity's towards the end of her contract. Like we kind of initially, I think we talked about it when she went over there, was probably going to be here, heat you back up so you can jump back over to WWE. Not saying that her Impact run hasn't been great. It's been phenomenal. But I don't think we ever really saw her there long term, I feel.
No. And I mean, that's always been kind of the case with Impact. TNA is, people are there for a good time, not a long time in a lot of cases. Now there are exceptions. You have your vets and your TNA originals that are still kicking around. But again, there's a long history of people stopping in, kind of, heating their fire up a little, and then, re-merging. I think the one factor everyone's really got to consider with a lot of this is Sasha and Naomi walked out on Vince McMahon and Johnny Laurinaitis, not Road Dogg and Triple H. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different animal.
Yeah, HBK, Road Dogg, and everybody said that that Sasha is very much kind of a Triple H girl, just like how everyone's a Paul Heyman guy.
Right. And again, the history there with the old, especially that generation of the NXT Black and Gold and Triple H, and we saw the hugs and the love and how fond Triple H is of the talent. Anything's possible, man. The guy got Punk to come back. I mean, I would argue that it would be easier to get Sasha Banks back than Punk, but maybe not.
That's a close one, actually. I never really thought about it. That's really close, I feel.
I think what hurt, the difference between Punk and Banks is Punk no longer had that second outlet, like that second major outlet. She still has the TK card to play. He had burned that bridge, so he was he was on an island. Like, anybody got a rowboat?
I got a dinghy.
Oh man. MDB asked a good question. Should the Royal Rumble be expanded to 40?
Ooh. Both of them, you say?
Well, I know the argument's going to be the women's probably not, and no offense to the ladies, but it is a shallower pool. But
men, that would be my one hang up on it. And then again, I get that there's a ton of talent on the roster and everything. You could always get this surprise here and everything. I don't know if I want to maybe go a full 40, because I'm trying to think of the last really great Royal Rumble that we had, though. So does adding more people to it like make it better?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way about where we debate WrestleMania. We talk about Tony's booking for pay-per-views. I want quality over quantity. If I can get 30 spots and 25 of those spots are really big, oh my gods, or that's cool, and less of the, well, fucking, Ivar's not going to win it. If there's less of those bookings and less of the celebrity slip-ins and shit like that, I'd be much happier. So if you have 30 men Royal Rumble, then you don't have to bring in the nonsensical people to get in there. Everybody that's in is quality, and a lot of them are contenders.
Right, as Jesus, a big dog out here, just letting us know that the 40-man Royal Rumble has happened before, and then wasn't the greatest Royal Rumble ever as well. Also, 40-man.
Titus going under the ring, buddy. 39.
Yeah, but so again, that shows that you add more people. It doesn't mean you get, more talent in there. You just get more people. And I think it ties in more to like what we talked about earlier of we want 40 because we now going into the match, we know the 30. So we're hoping for 10 more slots that we don't know versus if we only knew 5 people going in and the other 25 were a mystery, then that's great.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's a very valid point. And again, if Triple H could kind of, give us some obvious ones, right? Cody in the Rumble, obvious. Punk in the Rumble, obvious, fine. Randy wants to declare or something like that, fine. Like they always did that. You knew when Hogan was going to be in a Rumble or Flair was going to be in a Rumble, but when you were going to have all those additional people, like we didn't know that, fucking Erwin R. Shyster was going to be 17, and because we want those mysteries of who's next. When you're just crossing off the faces on the poster, it gets a little less fun.
Yeah, if the Miz declares for the fucking Royal Rumble, respectfully, the end is nigh. The end is nigh.
He's gonna win it, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, don't you say that. Don't you say that.
What's up, Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's the thing is if you throw in the obvious, like you perfect examples you mentioned of Warrior, Hogan, Macho, etc. Those are the obvious people that are going to declare for it. Your Austins, your Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear about, Ken Shamrock declaring for the Royal Rumble because no one gave a shit if he was in the Royal Rumble, respectfully.
Yeah. The Headbangers are going to be in this Rumble. We're going
to Mosher and Thrash, or just Thrash or Mosh.
Ah, touche. Yeah. People don't talk about the mainstream coverage Rocky versus Roman at Mania could get. WWE from each marketing billboards, talk shows, gets non-wrestling fan. Oh, no. I think I think Busted Open had Little Ice Cube on their show.
Yeah.
And he was even saying like this would be massive. Like celebrities know what this is. Again, it kind of transcends wrestling when you start talking, and like we were just talking about Hogan and some of the main events he had. This qualifies of it's bigger than just the match.
Well, I don't raise my hand because I'm now confounded here. I'm confused here. How are we just all finding this out? We were all saying this for 39 when it was in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I get that now you add the extra 40 on it and it's the anniversary, and now he actually showed up and kind of hinted at it. But before that, we were just going off the fact that he was going to be, it was in Hollywood, so he was bound to show up. That's where he lives, right? Hollywood. Right. We could, like you said, they go to him. He doesn't go to them. So this is not anything new to me. We all know that if this match happened at a Mania, and especially I feel if it would have happened in Hollywood and they had some build and they could plan it, you could have gotten Cody versus Roman this Mania and just had Dwayne versus Roman last Mania.
Right. Well, and again, regardless of when it does happen, and you're not wrong, but it didn't work out. And again, I'm still not convinced it's a Mania match. I'm still leaning towards they might do it at Elimination Chamber.
You got to sell 60,000 seats.
Yeah. So, but yes, the Rock and Roman, like this is where you start seeing wrestlers on talk shows more consistently than you used. Remember you used to turn into a late night show and Hogan would be sitting on the couch with Jay Leno, or there's fucking some wrestling superstar, the Macho Man, talking to Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, and then that one guy that asked about wrestling and then got slapped in the face.
Oh, Dave Schultz, buddy. It's still the dude from Law and Order that when Hogan choked him out.
Ooh.
T's and P's to that guy. If Randy wins tonight and gets a shot at Roman at the Rumble, there's no doubt that Roman versus Rock will happen at Mania. It's an interesting correlation, but I don't think it matters who wins tonight because I think Roman's going to carry that belt through Mania, no?
Oh, yeah, 100%. To me, the biggest outlier that is determining when we get, I feel, Rock versus Roman is the grandson of a plumber.
Right?
Good old Cody Rhodes out there, it's
Right.
hard times out here when Dwayne shows up to show up for WrestleMania, baby.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting how they handle all this. But again, it's like a coach with a stacked bench. You're never going to complain about having too many options, right? We just talked about AEW. MJF might be out for a year. Huge hole in the roster. Who's going to fill in that hole? In WWE right now, yeah, pause. Right, with WWE, well, The Rock can't make it. We still have Cody. Oh, Cody can't, gets hurt or can't make it. We got Randy. We got, LA. Like their bench runneth over right now.
Thy cup runneth over. Yeah, 100%. You'll never hear any team complain about having too much talent. Trust me, I'm a fan of one that's known for being the evil empire because that's all they did was fucking hoard talent. So
perfect.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's up, Dale? What's up, MDB? I know I touched on a couple of your comments already. Easy Bakes back in the house as well. I saw some other friendly faces. March Aries is with us. Do you think we get separate men's tag team titles? I actually thought maybe that might have been the announcement last night.
Really?
I actually kind of hoped for it a little. I want this to happen.
That's an outlier. I think we all want it to happen. We all expect it to happen, but that's an outlier of thinking that was going to be the announcement.
I know. I was just being
interesting.
Be greedy.
No,
but yeah,
be greedy. That's your new shirt coming to the merch store. Is be greedy.
I wondered though, but this has to happen soon, right? At this point, with what they're doing.
Do we have a big enough tag team or a separate enough tag team division, I should say, that warrants that?
No, it's getting close for me. I think it's getting close. Every week they're starting to, especially on Raw. Raw's highlighting a lot of the tag teams. We keep getting those backstage segments where all the tag teams are just chilling together in the middle of the arena. Like, go sit down somewhere, folks. But yeah, I think they're bringing in, if AOP is back in the mix. I really hope Indus-Sher, Indus-Sher is the team. They're like the mirage of wrestlers. Like, we think they're there, and every time we get close enough, they're gone again. Like,
yeah, I mean, Veer is in the team. Veer is in the team, so he might just be fucking lost again.
Right, and I think they're going to do more of, we see some of the combos that they're putting together with the singles wrestlers that make a little bit of sense. Maybe a Pete Dunne and a Tyler Bate go on a run as a tag team. I think Triple H is trying to build that up, and I think that's why he hasn't done it yet.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's how you help develop some of those teams, is because they have the tag title separately to go out of. You have to now have a tag team match pretty much every week to build up that division. So might help.
Yeah, welcome back, Lady B. This makes me laugh. I think in reference to the 40 women Royal Rumble, you'd have to take ladies out of the audience.
You there, Wendy Richter, you there.
Well, but we talked about this last year at the Rumble and the year before. It was like Summer Rae. Like, they were even at the bottom of the barrel of like ex-diva talent of like, who else is like way down there that we haven't used yet? And they started scooping up like the Summer Raes of the world of like, you get in there and wrestle. You're like, okay.
Eva Marie came back into pro wrestling at one point. Let's not forget.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's the problem with expanding too much too fast, is if you can't do it, you can't do it. And I'd rather quality over quantity any day of the week. What's up, Boston? Tony Dark Nightmare back with us.
Well, see, that's why you need to tune into us, folks, though, because we give you quality and quantity, because we're here damn near 7 days a week.
There you go.
And nobody does it like we do. I guess then I got to go into the Dusty Rhodes voice, baby. It's hard times out here when you're always live on this here talking wrestling, baby.
Right. So Juan giving you some flowers on your Dusty.
That sounded terrible to say out loud now that I think about it.
What up, JJ? I heard we all might get fooled, and Mania is Rollins versus Reigns. I'm not sure where that came from. I cannot see that being the case. I really can't. What purpose would that serve, right? At the end of the day, like title versus title. Then what do you do with all the other human beings? Like we just talked about the tag team division with one set of champions. You're kind of hamstrung. I don't believe that would be the case.
You would literally revert back to what you were beforehand.
Yeah.
You would negate making that entire title to begin with.
Yeah.
And would we not expect Punk versus Rollins night one? Now, granted, do we get all the way to Mania with that story, or does that have a moment before it gets there? Like, is that the second match versus the first match?
I don't know. I mean, I think the interesting part is that we keep. I think, at least for me, I don't want to speak on your behalf or anyone else's, but
Yeah,
it's like Mania is closer than we think, right? On the calendar, we're getting so close to this show that, again, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of, bumps in the roads or twists and turns. I think they're pretty locked into some pretty solid ideas. The deviation from that, or having like somebody, like we talked about, maybe, does Seth lose the belt but get it back? Like, I mean, the turnaround is so tight, or getting so tight. I don't know there's going to be a whole lot of shifting. I think we're going to straight run this down the road.
but so then you don't have Seth or Punk touch each other, until April.
Whoo! Now there's got to be something, right? There got to be something. It all depends.
You got to at least have a kerfuffle. Maybe he punches someone in the face backstage. What?
You have a scene where he's in his dressing room and Seth comes running
bust open into
it. Yeah, I think there's got to be something, but I think the side stories, like you had Seth taking on Drew. There's other people that are kind of contenders. Even with Roman right now, Roman's going to fight one of these gentlemen, but we don't know who he's going to fight, whether it's Cody, whether it's The Rock. So there is that building point past Rumble, right?
But so then do you give Punk something to do besides Seth? Because so far the most we've really had Punk come out and say is about Seth and about how he's going to be in the Rumble, and how I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money.
Punk versus...
We haven't had any other tertiary extracurricular activities there for CM Punk to be involved with outside of Seth.
Yeah, I mean, if that is the plan, if the payoff is Seth versus Punk at Mania, and especially with them both being pretty much babyface, it's really tricky, because you're not going to really have the screw job on the way, that kind of idea. You might have to, Punk does a few weeks with Dom or something to just keep him busy till he can focus. But once he wins the Rumble, all bets are off, right?
Right. Does he win the Rumble? That's a whole other can of worms there.
I think he's going to win the Rumble. I think it makes the most sense.
So then Cody, well, I think we've talked about that. If he wins the Rumble, Cody wins the match at the Chamber.
That's what I'm thinking. And again, that's just my fantasy booking. But for all we know, fucking Randy Orton wins the Rumble and Cody wins the Chamber, or again, I don't know. And I like the fact that I don't fully know, but on paper right now, to get where we think they're going, Punk wins the Rumble, Cody wins the Chamber, Bob's your uncle, Betty's your aunt. Let's go.
Every outcome's a great outcome. And like you said, don't pre-write the narrative before they kind of lead you down that path. Don't write the narrative that they're telling you.
Well, and again, I mean, dude, I think the interesting thing with Cody is Cody's signed for multiple years. He's not here just for like 6 months. So like, they're like, he has to write his story in 2023. Well, it was just another chapter. Well, then he's got to write it in 2024. What if it's just another chapter? What if he doesn't complete his story until 2026? Like,
if at the end of Mania 40, if we're on chapter 4 of the Bloodline, God damn it, I'm going to start questioning either A, how fast are we reading this, or B, how many chapters are in this goddamn book?
Yeah, this is a fucking encyclopedia.
The never-ending story. That's what I've seen everybody do online with Cody. It's the never-ending story.
Yeah, 100% is. You got to get Cody on the big white fucking dog.
I've seen someone do that.
Really?
I think someone dropped it in our Discord, actually.
I gotta find that. That's
yeah. Shit. Right.
Punk versus the Judgment Day. Now, I could see this being something, I mean, because he has been beating up Dom in the house shows. Do you translate that, give him a few weeks fucking around with Damian and the crew, just for some in-ring actions, for something of note?
He buddies with R-Truth. You get Punk and R-Truth in segments together.
The Punky Truth. Let's go.
Punky Brewsters.
Logan Paul will be there tonight. He is scheduled. I will remind people we are about 4 minutes away from start time. So make sure you get your snacks, get your drinks, whatever it takes to put a smile on your face. We are here for not only SmackDown, we stick around for Rampage. So strap in and strap on. It's going to be a fun one. And yes, you did hear me correct.
Yeah, see, and I got you there covered of WWE Smackdown, New Year Revolution, and AW Rampage. Yes, sir. Or ma'am.
Yeah,
Jake, what up?
Chambers, the silver medalist in the Wrestling for Life.
Again, folks, that's how you know you're so good at this. You don't have to mention nothing. They bring it up for you.
What's up, Jake? What's up, Steven? What about if it's all leading to Rock versus Solo? Well, yeah, the thing with that, JJ, is if you announce Rock versus Solo, the payoff isn't what you want it to be. That's a secondary, like that's on the way to Roman. Unfortunately, Roman is at the top, the head of the table.
Is that a Rock retirement match? Is Rock versus Solo? And Solo just becomes the guy that retires people. He allegedly potentially retired Cena. And now if he goes out and he takes out Dwayne, Middlebrook, what up?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, we got to think of marquee value. Who's at the top of the marquee? I love Solo. I think Solo's going to be great. I love what he did to John Cena. And yeah, maybe SummerSlam or Survivor Series, Rock happens to be unbusy and he goes through the motions with Solo the way Cena did. Maybe, but we'll see.
I think, though, like I said, if you do that with Dwayne, then what other match do you do? Respectfully, and it's not anything on Solo, it's that right now with where Solo's at, you're out of the main event picture. I hate to put it that way, but that's more of a family storyline than a main event, top tier storyline.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you have to transition out. We said not everybody can be at the top forever. Rumor is whenever Roman does lose the belt, he's going on a sabbatical. Again, that's just, I think, rumor, but I could see it happening, especially for his health, that, after a 3+ year run, that, he'll move on and other people will have to shift in there. Does Solo get more spotlight? We still talk about LA Knight's kick in. Randy Orton's still here. I want Randy Orton to get the title at least once, twice more before he retires. AJ Styles could use a really solid title run in addition to that. I mean, speaking of TNA alum, what's up? The hat that runs the chat.
The chapeau that runs the show, folks.
There we go. That was adorable.
I've been calling him the chapeau that runs the show.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
That's why I set it up the way
I know.
Do it. Nick's like, I do stuff.
No, it's just one of those of the alley was so there. I just, I was like, oh shit.
You did well. I appreciate it.
CJ out here saying daddy's back.
Daddy's home.
Guess I got my swagger back.
Right. What's up, CJ Brand? Hope you're doing well, sir. Been a minute. TJ, yo, who y'all got out of Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles? I got Randy. We will talk about that. I believe I am getting the start of the show.
I have local car
a lovely bunch
commercial.
I got then.
I'll let you know when I get there. I got local car dealership.
Focus this time.
I'm trying.
Then. I got snacks ready, rocking with you guys. That's the way to do it, Middlebrook. Everyone out there, SmackDown is about to kick off. Your alternative commentary to all the wrestling is rocking and rolling. It's going to be a fun one tonight. We got 3+ hours to go. And get in that chat. Go find some friends. I want to see Triple D.
Then we'll find them then. Then come back here.
Yeah, go find them then and come back now.
And now, go do it now.
And stay forever.
Right. I got forever right now. So I think we're as close as we're going to get.
How did you get forever?
All right, together now.
Okay, we're good. We're linked.
I told you.
All right. It's good. I gave a hiccup. We're good. Kevin, how are you? Curvin, my apologies. WWE Elimination Chamber is at 6:30 a.m. Yeah, we're going to be here at fucking 4 a.m. Breakfast with the boys. It might just be an all-nighter with the boys.
No, we'll just curve when we drive. Yeah, we curve when we drive.
Yeah. Swerve when we stream.
Right.
Now we're opening the show tonight with the Rock segment, a replay of the Rock segment, folks. That's interesting.
Gonna let you think about that. Let that sit in the back of your brain. So we probably end with Roman. He's obviously gonna sit there and come out and probably badmouth or be involved with the main event, or maybe he'll be co-main. But we'll be towards the end of the show, and we'll get this last little Easter egg, so it sits there and bookends it.
Well, for the people that wondered if Roman would acknowledge this situation or address it in any way, shape, or form, this opening package makes me think, more than it did before.
Oh, absolutely.
Like an hour ago, I didn't think so.
Well, I thought he was going to at least sneak a line in.
Well, we said minimally, right? Like he would be very subtle about it, sarcastic about it. Hello, hello, hello. But opening the show with this package makes me feel like they are definitely pushing the Rock Roman's narrative. That's a very interesting fact.
Yeah, because they end it right at sit at the end of the table.
Right.
They very much edit it so it goes from that to that line. Not all the corny stuff
thank God.
they did for 12 minutes.
Yeah, we can have a 12-minute opener. Jeez.
Right.
We got a SUV rolling up, folks. The show is kicking off.
And speaking of rolling up, roll up with us. Well, no, Casey was giving us a compliment. You just clicked past there.
I left it there. There you go.
Yeah, saying best wrestling stream podcast out there. Appreciate it. So be a friend, tell a friend, as we got the tribal chief levels above on the hoodie, folks.
Oh. That's amazing.
As he just did what he literally did on Twitter of just responds with laughter.
I find it funny, though. I mean, Kevin Dunn's sitting at home going, that's twice y'all fucked up the sound.
Yeah, seriously. I thought I was the only one that noticed. Initially, I was like, what did she say?
Yeah, Caleb Braxton asked about The Rock, and essentially what he did online, the tribal chief laughs it off and walks out.
Right.
I'm unsure if I'll be here for Elimination Chamber, but I hope to be. Boston, we hope you're here too. But here comes KO.
Right. So I'm assuming we're both going KO over Escobar here.
Whew.
I mean, how do you not pick your doppelganger?
And again, it's the thing that makes the most sense, right? I think the Lowo is going to get revenge on Santos. So setting up a Lowo versus Lowo, the Latino World Order versus the Legado World Order. And then
all the L's.
So the Lowo matchup, KO versus Logan Paul at Rumble has a nice ring to it. These two are going to be great with the promos. We've already seen it. Kevin Owens looks like Reddit. If Reddit was a human, like that is great shit. Let's go.
That's the thing. That's the only story in this whole tournament that's been built beforehand. So it's kind of been, I think, predisposition of we're going to get Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens, and it'll be a fantastic match.
Yeah, I mean Santos versus Logan doesn't have the same ring to it, doesn't have the same.
He's tied up in something else already, so that's
he's busy.
Just add another shit.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Nick, KJ would be like 2 segments ahead of me. There you go.
I'm just here to keep everything fair.
I don't know how the Canadian guy ends up a couple minutes ahead.
Because I use YouTube TV. That's why. YouTube TV tends to normally be slower than most other places, I feel.
Touche. Anthony. Thoughts on your comment? All right. Remember, super chats and super stickers. Do you guys believe the rumors that Triple H and Nick Khan are planning to allow some of their talent to do excursions to All Japan? Yeah, we've already seen it, and I think we'll see it again.
Facts. That was easy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Right. Iman saying Kevin Owens opening the show. I mean, it's a stat show, and we've already got a women's title match tonight. We've got the triple threat as well. We've got the tag team match between Butch and TBD versus Pretty Deadly.
Mm-hmm. And I like the Legado World Order. I mean, the look. Obviously, we had, Angel Garza and Humberto down in NXT to kind of find their way this is good for them.
Yeah, I just call them something else.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Logan Paul is going to be at ringside.
Uh-huh. What is that on the screen? The Maverick? The Mav?
No one calls him that. I feel like
Nobody
we're just Lenny and Carlos. That never happened, Logan, did
it? Oh, Mario and Luigi getting shunned. There you go.
Man's out here looking like fucking wearing a Top Gun and Super Shredder right now with this fucking puffy fur jacket.
Oh, the Mav. Get out of here. Did you guys watch wrestling? I did watch Wrestling Kingdom, and it was worth it.
I saw the results because I was at work when it was happening, because it happened at the ass crack of dawn.
Yeah, I watched it the next day in parts. What's up, Sword of Truth official? James and KC, Maverick, I think, is his name of his clothing brand. I did not know that. There you go. James.
So he's just Prime Logan Paul now.
Yeah. Prime Logan Mav.
Prime
Logan
Paul.
Mav.
Prime Paul.
And there you go.
We've got the wall on the wall action right now.
Super kick. Oh, this could be a squash. Cannonball.
I think it's gonna be.
Let's go.
Kevin Owens going up for the frog splash right now.
Big frog splash. And yeah, opening the show with this match is a great idea.
1, 2 count. Dos amigos, dos.
And remember, folks, we take a prediction on all the matches. We take a rating out of 10 at the end of the show, as we head directly into our first commercial break. Didn't waste any time for that one, but we are off and running.
Hey, it shows you the signs that Kevin Dunn, Shiniko don't live here no more. Of we don't have the obvious, someone gets thrown out to the outside in commercial break. Now, granted, It's a bit jarring, but I like how everyone's been sharing online of like highlights, or I guess more lowlights, of Kevin Dunn on production for WWE, of like, why did they have all these cameras set up here? Why would this ever make sense?
And then, like I said, ironically, we get 2 mic botches in on Monday and Friday, and Dunn's like, losers. I might have played with the cameras, but I would have got that right.
Right.
I'm picking Kevin Owens for the win, KO for the win, and I agree with Jay. It's on paper, lining up, setting up to be a really good night tonight, folks.
Oh, absolutely.
Member for 4 months. 4 months of For Lifey. Thank you, Boston.
Appreciate it. Everybody be like Boston, except don't cheer for the Red Sox. Or the Patriots. We all just instantly shit on every team.
Right,
love you, Boston. You can handle it.
All right.
I believe AJ is winning tonight. High C money. So Boston, a man after your heart, they're believing that. AJ Styles in his, what was it, lone wolf gimmick there from Impact, ends up picking up the win, and we get him versus Roman.
Right. Mega asking, where do I get the membership? Right on the main page of the channel, depending on where you're watching us. Right below, you'll see some icons, and it says join. So you just click that little button.
And for those who haven't liked, shared, and subscribed or anything like that, that's also where you can go and hit that subscribe, that bell notification. We got the merch store even up there, and also even in the description, we got all the links to everything and anything.
It's facts. So go check it out. Go check us all out.
Pause.
Yeah, check us out. You mean Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Wait, what? Oh, to Jesus. Oh, help me.
Goddamn! I might see Jesus after that. Right, that whole situation.
Dave's not here, man. No Christian. Oh, there you go.
Why is Jesus yelling at the Christian? What is happening?
No idea what's happening. Welcome. I like Boston. Right. I don't like Boston. There you go, Keyshawn. Welcome back. But yeah, we all like Boston. None of us like Boston.
We like Boston. He's like, that what was it? The fucking Budweiser commercial, or whatever.
Right.
Your pal, or Sam Adams, your pal from Boston.
I can't wait to see Dolph Ziggler versus David Finlay and Riddle versus Tanahashi at Battle of the Valley. We will be here live for Battle in the Valley. Just so happens on the same night as TNA Hard to Kill. So, of course, there's more to cover, but we will be here live for that one. That's going to be fun. Ziggler makes a surprise return, and I like what they did. I like the angle they set up. It was intense. It was, they instantly got some buzz about it. Riddle doing his little video was kind of funny as shit, though.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, bro.
Someone's got a for rent sign in the crowd. I got to read what it says. What's for rent?
I don't know, but I like Boston's. Well, Boston loves you, Keyshawn. That reminds me of and I love you, random citizen.
Right. I don't see the joint icon on my screen. It's there.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, Tech Support's currently live hosting the show right now. So,
facts.
So maybe if one of us goes on a pause and you message somebody might be able to help you.
Yeah, maybe. If you're on your phone, it's next to the community link. There's like home, there's videos, there's live, there's community, there's membership.
See, we got you covered all the way around. We's family out here. We're like Vin Diesel in a Fast and the Furious movie. We're family.
Right. But we're back from commercial break. Santos is now in control.
Is it weird, or am I the only one that can't hear Logan Paul really talk? I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just curious is it just me that the crowd's that loud, or that his mic's that quiet? Which actually,
quiet.
Have we noticed who's the so the commentary team is at least Corey Graves, because we remember we had this shake-up. Is it Kevin
KP.
Patrick?
KP.
God damn it. So that's 100%. You've got the only thing I'd listen to would be Corey Graves. So you can just mute the whole commentary and just listen to us here.
Right. Thumbs up on my QAnon has given himself a compliment.
I will second that.
Yeah, good job. I believe The Rock is winning at the Royal Rumble. If The Rock wins the Royal Rumble, I'm going to be very disappointed and very upset. It's unnecessary. It's not needed. It would be ridiculous. I don't want The Rock in the Rumble. And again, do not do that. We fucked up last year's Rumble.
And we'll go back to, we've already got CM Punk there, and now we'll just have him and Cody doing the same thing in stereo of, the fact that I'm not in the main event, but Dwayne is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think collectively, I mean, that's a bummer, right? Like, come on. It's like when we had, Brock and what's her face? Why did I completely break Ronda? Thank you. Brock and Ronda win that, 2 years ago, and everybody was like, this is complete shit.
Well, and I think it goes to, as we're now on the outside, Escobar's just stomping away on KO's hand. I think it's what we've talked about of with them even being able to have the match at Chamber, that it shows the star quality that they already have currently on their roster that's active superstars versus bringing somebody in, a part-timer that we don't need you to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Now, granted, would it be an amazing main event? Absolutely. But they don't need him to main event.
Right. And I think the crowd's cursing because everything's gone quiet.
Fair enough. But Larry's saying, I finally got to see Iron Claws. He's becoming a member for 6 months. So appreciate you.
Half a year.
Damn. But maybe we'll talk about that in a commercial break. I don't know if you've seen it yet or anything.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it if we remember it.
Fight KO fight. LOL. That is that a challenger? Is that a challenge? What did Boston say?
I don't know.
Jesus bread. Can you go back to Big Dog?
Please. No, I was gonna click on Middlebrooks here saying commentary sucks. I like Corey, but we need Cole. Well, that's why you just mute them and you listen to us.
That's it, folks. We are your alternative commentary to all the wrestling.
Right. As KO is up on the top turnbuckle. Escobar's climbing.
Oh.
JJ saying the crowd chanting Logan sucks. That's just facts. That's just facts. Logan sucks. Jake swallows. What? Oh!
Big spot.
Big. I don't even know what exactly kind of suplex you want to call that, but goddamn. And all right, I don't mind that one because you've got Kevin Owens just holding his hand because he slammed the bejesus out of it, and then you cut to a commercial. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Sometimes it was called for if you had a spot that would lead to it. It's just when you do it all the time, 4 times a match, then it becomes too predictable. You're muted, so no one can hear you.
I hit the cough button and forgot I had stopped coughing.
You coughed and then forgot you coughed.
Yeah, no, I mean you want that. You want that. Ooh, maybe Santos does win this, right? Like you really want that compelling back and forth for sure.
I mean, I don't know. We initially thought this could have been a squash match here pretty quick, which I think almost would have been more interesting because it really would have played into the El Phantasm. I'm not going to call them the LWO 2.0 or the red and green instead of the red and black or whatever.
Legato.
Yeah. Domi Arigato, Mr. Roboto, Mr. Legato. But I think it would have played more into that because it would have caused a distraction and it cost him. He's got a bigger gripe to be fucking pissed at. And then, not saying that this is a bad match. I love seeing these guys go at it, but could have done it story-wise.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I mean, you do have options there. Now, I'm just wondering, is it like, green, white, and red versus red, white, and green?
Just if you look at them in reverse, they're the opposite sides.
Right. How is this going to work? We'll find out.
Right. CX99 saying, yes, I prefer y'all's commentary. I want to turn the volume down when they cut promos.
It's a good idea.
Respectful.
Right.
Yeah, where's Curtis with our commercial break counter here?
We're definitely on commercial break number 2. 2.
Yeah, at least 2.
So we didn't set an over under, but I imagine it's like 9.
I think we set more of the over under for a return. So did we agree to set the line at 2?
Right.
Did we agree at 2?
Yes, 2.
Okay. Red light, green light from I love soap. I love lamp. Brick, are you just saying you love things? As I'm back from commercial break, as again, we're already back up on the top turnbuckle.
Santos fighting out. We got headbutts.
John, what up? Larry, are you saying that for commercials or returns? Because we were talking about returns, so I'm going to say returns.
Bum, bum, bum. All right.
Oh, Escobar. Oh, KO blocks the step up Enziguri. Super kick on the outside.
Fair. Folks, I did drop the membership link into the chat if you'd like to join the 4 lifeies.
Swanton bomb into that membership button right there, folks.
There you go. Nail it. As KO out to the floor. What up, John? How you doing? Knees up.
Oh, knees up on the Swanton. As Logan's saying, I ain't worried about Kevin Owens. I'm out here dealing with stars. And then name drops Patrick Mahomes, etc., etc.
Yeah, Logan Paul, Patrick Mahomes, whiny, complaining.
Taylor Swift, yeah. Bitchy, complaining.
Wow, Hurricane Rana from the top. Where can I find the House of Glory pay-per-views? Yeah, they moved.
Yeah, they went to Premiere, hashtag not sponsored. So I guess we're future Googling man for you, Damien. But yes, they're on Premiere.
What are your thoughts on Camille and the news broke today about her from PW Insider? Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I think she had a great run in NWA with very little high-end challenges. So this will be really interesting to see where she, in fact, is at in her wrestling ability.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, just everybody's already losing their mind here of Boston saying, smash that like button with your forehead if you're enjoying the show and ready for a great night of wrestling. We do not condone that. But absolutely hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Larry's saying it's a KJ Stunner into the link. And then instantly, Pat King becoming a new member. Appreciate you.
Pat.
Shout out. Right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nick Old School's into the link.
So I'm Taker? What? Oh, big stuff up in Zuri.
Right. Oh, both men back on the top. This has been a spot that we've gone to several times. Oh! Rolling senton!
1, 2, 2 count. See, I like that though. So they led up to it the first time. Clearly weren't ever really super close to it or anything. Get back to it, finally hit it, and it's still a 2 count. This is a hell of a way to kick off the show. Now, granted, it's been almost the whole first half hour here, but it's been a hell of a way to kick off the show.
Yeah, no, it's good. You got right into a match, and again, you give them time to cook. This is the final of a tournament. You got to make it feel like it's the final of a tournament. Again, instead of having a whole bunch of extra side things or opening with a segment, get right into the action. Give us a good match out of the gate. I'm happy about it. The fans should be happy about it as we get a 2 count on the roll up. Stone Cold Alden wants his finisher back. Says,
well, we got a super kick. Oh, he was going for the pop-up powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana. Another pop-up powerbomb. It's over.
That is a pancake.
Pancake?
Pancake?
I thought we'd never read on a wrestling stream outside of maybe celebrating somebody winning, saying, thank you, Jesus.
KO with the stunner in the win, and your new #1 contender. Thank you, Jesus.
Right. Jesus, thank you.
The buddy Jesus?
Oh, right. Whatever deity that is that you pray to, you believe in. 100%, I guess. Captain Canada has won. Kevin Owens is your new #1 contender versus Logan Paul.
Oh, Logan reaching for a mic.
Please don't. We've suffered enough with you on commentary.
Appreciate it, John. I thought he was going to go, ooh, so we're like, wait.
Literally, it sounded like he was about to start doing that.
Good wordplay, Nick. So I'm Taker, then dang, that burns. Dang, that burns.
I didn't even know. I guess. Thank you, Jason, but I didn't even know that I did anything.
Yeah, I don't think it was wordplay more than acknowledging that.
Sometimes you just, happy little accidents.
There you go. Kevin Owens looks like a jobless mall Santa. Hey now.
What are you trying to say about
paper? A guy named I Eat Paper just made that comment. That says enough.
I mean, before it was I Love Soap, so he's changed his name on the fly here.
There you go. Blessings to you, my guys. All right, bread.
All right, bread. You get a slice, and you get a slice, and you get a slice.
Oh, I'm feeling toasted. I have to put it that way.
Right, yeah. I'm more grilled cheese.
Oh, big forearm. Down goes Logan. And this is why KO should have won that match. This is good, setting up for the Rumble. Logan runs his mouth. KO takes no shit. And Logan's title is definitely in jeopardy.
And just gets knocked out. As even Ronan says, 62 days, you haven't defended it once. Facts.
There you go.
Hasn't been seen since he won it, actually.
Well, I mean, I give them credit. At least they were doing those little like picture-in-picture vignettes for the matches.
Mhm.
You know, I give them credit. What does that sign say? She's so happy.
I don't know, but she's wearing an Austin 360. They both are. So
Yeah.
very much clearly couple at, I'm assuming, their first show, as dude's doing the Randy Orton pose right behind.
Right. As we
Fun
go
fact,
to
I actually, when I won Employee of the Month at one of my previous employers, I did the Randy Orton pose.
that's the way to do it.
Picture.
Right.
Hey, nothing you can say.
I'm watching Logan Paul out here and can't help but wonder, when did Vanilla Ice have a kid? All right.
As now I'm getting the video package of what took Randy out and now Randy coming back.
Yeah, they're starting to make it feel like it's, well, they might do three of these. So
maybe, but still,
see.
You're seeing when Randy left versus when Randy came back, and Randy when he left now, or when he Randy's now 2 of what he was when he left.
Dun, dun.
But again, it comes down to whoever wins this is also out of the Rumble, because I assume the other two, unless they have a separate match at the Rumble, like we get an AJ Styles versus LA Knight at the Royal Rumble.
I think that works. Yeah. I think either like whoever doesn't win this, the other two can kind of fight each other in the Rumble, even if it's just they're mad at each other heading into the Rumble match.
Okay, so I was going to say, that's the question of, are they outside of the Rumble or are they in the Rumble? Because I almost want Randy in the Rumble, but I think he's the odds-on favorite to win this match tonight.
I think they'd be in the Rumble. I'm trying to think. You got 2 title matches. You might have a women's title match. So, yeah, I mean, they're not, Triple H, he's going to have the two Rumbles. He's going to bookend the Rumbles. There'll probably be 3 or 4 matches in between. That's it. Doom, 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 doom. Bobby Lashley in the house, folks. Make sure you're in the chat. Don't go quiet on us. Keep coming.
All 3 of them right now coming out in suits with this whole entrance. And said big time look. And it's so interesting that they were supposed to be the heel group and are now babyface more than ever.
Again, one of those organic switches where I think you lean into it. All right, people are going to start cheering them. Give them some bad guys to, give them some heels. Give them some people that the crowd is booing. And look, they kind of got an organized little fist bump going on. And I fully expect, knowing the WWE the way we do, that with Montez and his reality show with Bianca coming up, they're going to put him on TV more and more because they want to be able to hype both.
There was teases out there, and we've talked about it even of, especially because Montez is in this group, that Bianca might be involved in this. We saw those little bit of teases to where she could be, on that borderline of a heel and not a heel, because she's been babyface for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I mean, I go back to when we're going to commercial. I hate when they do commercials during the entrances. Like, they're going to stand in the ring and wait for a promo.
For those who are wondering, we've got a short up on the channel that showed when Randy Orton had to sit there and went to a commercial break during the entrance. And he's just got to sit there by this ring steps menacingly, like the hash singing slasher out there.
To me, that's such a bad look, because here you're trying to like hype up animosity, and dude has to wait outside the ring. Like, when I get in there,
it sucks though for the live audience.
Yes,
it makes sense for the at-home audience.
Yes, 100%. But I think the timing wise, you could put things in different places. Again, it's awkward. But again, we're here doing this, they're there doing that. We'll see how it goes. But if they're going to take a pause, I'm going to take a pause.
Fair enough. As we're in commercial break number 3, by the way, right now. So what was I trying to get at to? Well, My senior year, my gym teacher kicked me out of class, so I gave him the stone cold salute walking away. Well, that's just the double birds. I think everybody's done that at a time or two. Daniel said Nick's going to try and be like WWE Nork and parlay this channel into a restaurant. Menu reads is raw. We don't need to call it that. Is Gordon Ramsay running this restaurant if it's going to be that? But you get a star on this comment, 100%. Our shit is real. Stop on by and try the VO. Comes with your choice of side and bread. I love it. I love it. Now, see, big dog there. Remember you used to do that too, to where people thought I was you in the chat. I love that, Daniel. That's hilarious. I don't know if we have the funding right now for that, but maybe that'll be in the works here at some point. Like I said, I started, so we'll bookmark that for later. CX, what up? Don't worry, I gave the DX crop chop as well. I think everybody did that. Trust me, Hunter is responsible for so many kids getting suspended, getting detention, all of that. Christ. Draymond Green was about to sit there and get, funded by the WWE and pay all of his fines for doing the freaking DX crotch chop there. Private Selection had at one time New York style cherry. We're going into restaurants here, I feel right now. But I guess I'll ask everybody as we're in a commercial break. Do you think that we get the AOP, yeah, you know me, showing up tonight with Karrion Kross, and we can finally get the reveal of this whole faction? We all fall and pray, I guess, to quote Scarlett. Do we get them actually coming out now? Because it's talked about that they've been signed for a while. Granted, with their previous business endeavors of their little wrestling promotion that proceeded to do absolutely nothing and seemed a little bit funky. I'm interested that they're back in WWE, but could this be a complete and total restart for them? Because certain people are going to remember them, I feel. I don't know if everybody is, because let's not forget, for a good chunk of their time, they were either one was injured or the other was injured. The most recent thing I think they did on WWE television was they were the heavies for Seth Rollins with Buddy Murphy for a bit when Seth Rollins was doing his whole Monday Night Messiah gimmick. So it'll be interesting to see. I think some people will react. I almost wonder. That's what I really want to see if they do show up tonight, is how many people remember the AOP, or are we just excited because, hey, it's a name we remember? Pat King saying, I know Triple H won't drop the ball with them like Vince did, but I wonder if it was dropping the ball with them, or it was literally just they got injured so much. Sometimes, a star player on a team doesn't work out just because they can't stay off the fucking medical side of the medical room. So that might be a bit part of it, as we're getting everybody talking about, we're getting highlights of everybody talking about, from Fox Sports to CBS Sports to so on and so forth, talking about Money in the Bank, and pretty much the whole weekend actually being in Toronto. And trust me, I know KJ is a big fan of that visual of the Money in the Bank briefcases hanging off the tower there. So trust me, you'll see that plenty on the channel. If not, you might see KJ at Money in the Bank when it comes to that time. As now I've got Logan Paul getting interviewed backstage with an already very melted ice pack on his face. So Austin Theory and Grayson Waller pairing up with Logan Paul. So just ultimate team douchebag here. As hey, Cameron Grimes, does this count as a return? Because he's been gone for a hot minute here. I'm wondering if this counts as a return. And now we've got also other Daivari back there playing agent. As we've got Logan going to the trainers with Waller and Austin Theory, as other Daivari's shutting off Grimes. So we'll wait until KJ comes back to sit there and determine if this is an actual return or not. And Team Maverick douchebags table. Yeah. Pause. And so now I've got Bobby cutting a promo right now in the ring here. But yeah, so give me your best non-offensive name for the faction of Grayson Waller, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. AOP versus Viking Raiders. That's got KJ written all over it. Pause sustain. How are you out here making justifications on your own decisions here? Prime D-backs, why? Prime Mavericks. Ah, fuck. Always sunny in Doucheville. Douchebags are us. This is honestly, I think, the first real promo I think we've gotten from Bobby with the Profits there. That's actually kind of really been a declaration here. Is they're actually getting some boos here, and now, well, I thought they were boos, but I think they're trying to play it off like it's boos, but they're actually cheering them because we got a Bobby chant. But this is the first time that I feel like they've really came out here and kind of stated their case, stated their cause here and everything versus just they're a group of friends that hang out. Now, granted, respectfully, Montez looks phenomenal out here. Bobby crushing it in the salmon suit. Granted, the little fucking thing on his collar there, he looks like he's, in the Hunger Games or something or at Hogwarts. But Dawkins out here looking like he's a fucking middle school principal with this outfit, respectfully. So Bobby's declaring for the Royal Rumble. So actually a pretty solid reaction. And could Bobby be a contender to win the Royal Rumble match? Could he be in the final four? Oh, we're getting the countdown here. So we're getting Cross and Scarlett coming out right now. And I like this. I feel like they're giving a tinge. Oh, Kevin Patrick, you tried to... Paul Ellering! We got Paul Ellering out here. I was going to say, and the AOP jumping. Yeah, you know me. Jumping up Bobby and the homies from behind out here. Let's go. The AOP is back, and I like this group. We've all been wondering. They've been kind of really muddied the waters when it comes to Karrion Kross ever since they had him down in NXT. And you sat there and, had Adam Cole with, what they have to do to make Adam Cole look cool, ring the bell. But this 100% I feel works. And I wonder, the Collider powerbomb, the double tap powerbomb from the AOP onto the Street Profits as now Cross is going right at Bobby Lashley. I like this as a feud going forward. 100%. Did he just hit an F5? God damn, does this look like an impressive group. I was going to say it feels like it might have a tinge of what we were going to potentially get if we got the Wyatt 6 and what have you. But the second I saw Paul Ellering, let's go. I'm excited right now. I wasn't respectfully the biggest fan of AOP when they first were in NXT and everything like that. Like I said, one of them was always on the sidelines here. But this is going to be a good matchup. And it's a matchup we never got in NXT because they were two teams at two different times. So you've got, more of the high flying, athletic Street Profits versus the powerhouse team of AOP. And I'm sure they're going to have a different name, I assume, at this point. I was questioning if Ellering's actually blinked. I don't know if he's looked away at all. And Cross, again, what have they been feeding these people at catering? Because everyone's just looking jacked to all but Jesus here. Best wrestling buddies ever. Appreciate you. What did I say? KJ, bring it on. As we're in. Oh, we're replaying last September. Oh, so we are doing an individual video for, and again, that's the thing that ties everybody together. And I like that they're going to do it this way, of that they are tying it into when they got taken out by the bloodline, essentially. Your feet is way behind. Well, I try. I'm working with what I got. I got the YouTube TVs. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, you're sitting up on high.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. So what do we need to talk about?
Well, because you were very negative at the idea of this team returning, and they returned, and you were very happy. You popped, and you were excited. So
why was I negative about him? What did I say?
Hey, roll back the tape. Go back in the archive.
I'm asking you.
No interest.
I was negative. So what did I say?
AOP was coming back. You were like, "Who cares? They suck. They tried to do a show that didn't get off the ground." You had no interest in AOP.
Yay!
It's good. I like the look of it.
I like that we're using Cross.
Okay. No, I like the whole group. I mean, and bringing Paul back is such. Does he count as an additional return tonight? Are we at 4? Are we 3?
No, well, no, that's 1. If the tag team counts as 1, the manager counts as 1. But so does Cameron Grimes. I meant to ask you, does that count as a return?
Not really. He's been
1.5.
Right.
He's been called out. Yeah, I publicly said I wasn't a big fan of AOP. I'm interested to see how it works. And I'm at least excited I like the idea of those two factions going at it. Bobby declared himself for the Royal Rumble. So again, another person that's declared themselves for the Rumble. How many is that now? 5, 6, 7, maybe.
4.
But at the same time, now you've got a few, because respectfully, Bobby wasn't winning it. He might have been towards the end, but he wasn't winning it. And now you've got a faction and a few that goes outside that. And I like that we're actually, this has been the best Cross, like I said, since, you know what they have to do to make Adam Cole cool? Ring the bell.
Yeah, I mean, again, Cross's main roster sputtering has been a thing for sure. This gives them validity. The Hurt Business, or whatever they call themselves, Bobby and the Prophets, they haven't had a whole lot going on since they've become a thing. So at least it's something viable and something that actually challenges them. And where we talked, where Bobby was getting some organic babyface vibes, this helps.
Facts. As I've got Michin coming out right now
with the OC.
Right. And they paused, and you paused, so now I pause.
Nick paused. So Nick's going for a pause for the cause, folks. We are rolling along. We've been on here for almost 2 hours already. The show continues. AOP is back with Paul Ellering, joining forces with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Scarlett looks like $1,005,000 out there. But let me know who you're taking in this match, as Michin is going to take on EO Sky. OC with Michin tonight, so that's very interesting. But yes, the show is going pretty good so far. I enjoyed the opening match. Didn't waste any time into bringing us another little bit of a surprise. And the show rolls on. So far, so good. When does Montez Ford go solo? It's time for Dawkins to sink or swim. Not yet. I feel like the IWC is very eager to break tag teams up. I do believe that Triple H is trying to keep tag teams together. Yeah, at some point, I do believe they will split. I think Dawkins is underrated, but Montez Ford definitely has a glowing shine to him. So in time, we will see some progression, some, solo work from the guy. But right now, they're in this faction. They work well. And again, you have AOP, you have the Street Profits, maybe you have Dunn and a partner. We need tag teams. If we are going to split those tag team belts, we need tag teams on the roster to do so. There was a segment. All I saw was Spike. Welcome. But yes, hard to focus on other things when Scarlett with dark hair as well. So there you go. There you go. AOP is back. I have had raspberry and strawberry. Okay, there we go. Daniel, there was also the Masked Superstar tonight, Jake and the Warriors. I'm not sure. About time Triple H does something good with Karrion Kross. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that you guys got to remember that you can't just, like, Triple H couldn't just come back and undo everything that was already in the works. Can't just start, flipping the script and changing things. Again, it's about storytelling. It's about picking your spots. It's finding opportunities. But what you really see changing with this company right now is that mid-card, outside of the main event, there is stuff worth watching in the rest of the show. They're building it nicely. You got a KO Logan Paul rivalry. Now you got the Bobby and the Profits taking on, Karrion Kross and his new crew. Like they're building up outside of the main picture, which is nice. But we're coming back out of commercial break. That was a quick commercial, to be honest. Marvin, the thing about Paul is he can't travel, so I'm guessing this is a one-night thing. Is that true? Why can't Paul travel? I'm curious, Marvin. Fact checkers out there, let me know. I don't know what the story behind that is. I do not believe that this is a one-time thing. EO for the win. EO versus Bayley at Mania. Potentially, we'll see. Some people have felt that Bayley could win the Royal Rumble, so that's very intriguing. But yes, definitely EO winning tonight. I got EO for sure. EO for the win. AOP and Kross look good together. I'm excited to see what they have in store. What about Karrion Kross's new finisher? It's a Ripcord F5. Technically. Boston, if they came out, then walked to the ring altogether, disagreed, then jumped them. All right. Well, let me go back a little and see what Boston said. What did Larry say? Did they show up and jump Bobby and the Profits? Yes, they did. We don't know, but it seems to me as an introduction to a faction, and it seems them making their mark by attacking what they deem as another powerful faction. Yeah, I think it worked well. Like, I know Paul walks out, so everyone goes, oh shit. So your expectation, if you're a viewer, is AOP walks out next. Instead, AOP pops up in the ring and, instantly establish themselves as a heel, instantly establish them as, a handful, as they're going to be trouble, and they get involved with something quickly. If they all just walk down the ramp and get on in a fair fight, it takes the idea of who would win the battle of the factions. Well, you started off with a jump and you instantly send a message. Not only are we here, we're here to fuck things up, and we're here to be, heels. As Damage Control with EO Sky on the way to the ring. One of my favorite entrances in wrestling. I like it. I like it like that. I do. Bayley will be the person to bring back Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes, to help her with Damage Control. That is a great storyline. Bring her back in. 100%. And again, if you do the math, now that we're thinking out loud, we know Trinity's coming back. So what if it's Bayley, Trinity, and Sasha that allows for them to go up against Damage Control? 3-on-3. Potential? Yes. It remains to be seen. A lot of people are saying AEW is a done deal. We won't know yet. We won't know till we get there. But yeah, I think Bayley's eventually going to get pushed out of this group. They've been teasing it for a long time. I think Dakota Kai's injury delayed it. And now that they're setting it up, let's go. I mean, yeah, she's going to need help. She's going to need friends. Charlotte just went on the shelf. She was part of the babyface crew at War Games. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking at a possible return. Somebody to help Bayley, right? And it will be very interesting how babyface Bayley plays. But ding, 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 folks, we get Mia Yim Michin taking on EO Sky. And if you haven't made a prediction yet, I am all ears. Who you taking? EO. I don't think anybody's taking Michin in this one. The first time Cross was in the main roster, he looked like a long-lost love child of demolition. Yeah, BDSM Cross was not good. We talked about it again, part of the Vince era, where Vince was just, again, can't get out of his own way, an old man that was completely out of touch with a lot of what was going on in the world. And we saw it. Bearcat, we saw Karrion Kross get ruined. We've seen multiple talent get squashed by Vince McMahon. Triple H is working up against that and finally getting Karrion Kross back in the ring, back involved in something that matters, a new finisher, a new attitude, a new faction. It works. At least for now, it's a good start. They keep cheering Bobby as far as I am concerned. They are babyface 100%. And now that them getting jumped by this new faction pushes them further into the babyface role, right? You're not going to cheer Karrion Kross and the AOP, especially the way they were presented. So now you have that opportunity to really emphasize that Bobby and the Profits are cheerable, are babyface, are, the good guys. EO in control out of the gate. Got EO. EO Sky for the win. Yeah, EO retains. I'm not calling any wins here, but EO definitely retains. Fair enough. I'll take that. KJ, I just don't like it from behind ambush as a return debut. Again, return debut is, you can't, I get what you're saying, Larry, but the jump from behind, I don't mind because, again, it instantly establishes them as a heel team. Bad guys aren't supposed to fight, clean. Bad guys aren't supposed to, walk up to your face and have an honorable exchange. You want them to get the jump on Bobby. You want them to, nobody expected it. And when everyone's looking left, they go right. That's the beauty of sleight of hand. So I get your comment, but at the end of the day, I would have done it the same way. You established so much by letting them be evil. I know we talk about Roman all the time. Roman cheats to win. That's how it used to be. Like the bad guys cheat. The good guys find a way to overcome the bad guys cheating. It's simple storytelling, and I'm okay with it. Like for them, again, if they got their music played and they came walking out and they get a big pop, you don't want them to get a big pop, right? You don't want people to cheer, oh my God, they're back. Hey, woo. You don't want that. You want the crowd to go, holy shit, they're here. Oh my God. Oh, they're beating up the guys we like. Boo. You're excited they're back, but you know what they're setting a tone right away. And with Paul involved, you have no choice. Like that's the way it is. Gadio. Nah, I want Trinity and Mercedes to win tag belts. The tag belts are the death of. If I can't imagine a world where Sasha goes anywhere near the tag belts ever again, because every time she's been near the tag belts, she quit. So I really don't think that's going to be a thing, Keyshawn. EO lost last week. That's why she'll never get over. Shake my head. Never get over. I would argue she's pretty over. I mean, even if she ventured out on her own from this group, I would argue that EO can be very over. Fans are really into EO. I know I am. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, Ermin. Is it possible? Possible. The SmackDown Women's Division needs more star power. What do you mean? Are you not entertained? Yeah, more star power. I struggle with that because you got Bayley, you got EO, you have Damage Control as a collective. Asuka's in there. You had Charlotte. You have Belair. I mean, who would you move over from Raw? Or what other names would you bring in to fluff this division? Remember that botched ladder spot in NXT? Michin accidentally got busted open. It was versus EO. Facts. Yes, Juan. And Michin can wrestle. EO can wrestle. So you just give him a little bit of time on TV and make it look good. I'd be very happy. Setting up the power bomb. Not today. EO under and Itani. I can't look at Cross without hearing Jesse Ventura anytime Cross speaks. All right. Not quite sure why. I'm not going to lie. The Cross faction looks fire. I like it. I really do. I mean, I thought they looked good. It adds a different element to it. And Paul Ellering, for the younger fans out there that might not understand, like this is one of the greatest tag team managers of all time. He brings a different aura, a different energy. One of the biggest mistakes Vince McMahon made was the debut of AOP on the main roster. He had them turn on El-Ring. And to me, that was a mistake, and they never recovered. I mean, they hung around with the Messiah for a little bit, but still was never good. Pastries. WWE needs a 6-man tag title now. No. Don't do that. I don't much care for it. I mean, to me, it's a bit of a redundancy. And you look at what's happening in AEW. Ever since they introduced the trios belts, the trios don't get pushed very well, and the tag teams don't get pushed very well because it's a bit of a redundancy, in my humble opinion. Yeah, it's fun every once in a while to have a 6-man match, but to have titles and a division, now we're trying to establish quality tag team division. A trios tag team or a trios division would take away from that, as far as I'm concerned. What's more likely in the Rumble, Liv or Dakota? More likely? Well, Liv's dealing with legal issues, but that might not hinder her. Dakota should be pretty close for Rumble. I think they're both going to be, if I'm going to take an easy answer here, but both of them, I think, end up in it. As Io gets to the rope on the half Boston Crab. Cross faction looks way better than the doubles group. Fair enough. Wardrobe malfunction. I did not catch it. Oh, big kick. Io down on the apron. That's what a heel is supposed to do, Casey. I'm with you, my friend. That's the way I would do it. Again, AOP walking out and then stomping down the aisle and standing toe-to-toe with, 3-on-3, then technically you want the baby faces to win that exchange, right? Like, technically, that's what would happen, right? Like, you want an unfair advantage for the heels, 100%. I can't really go against that. I think you need those moments. And again, if it's not like the first time we've ever seen AOP, it's a return. So even more, they return and they reestablish themselves. We got the big collider move, and then we got, we're getting the moonsault. Michin gets the knees up. Michin. I think people forget heels cheat and are conniving. Yeah. Again, it's a weird thing. And I know a lot of times in some other companies, it's like, doesn't matter if you're heel or babyface, you're going to fight, you're going to shake hands. That's just the way it is. But wrestling's the most compelling when you have clear stories to tell. And in a good story, there's an antagonist, a protagonist, and everybody's got to play their part. If everyone's just doing the same shit, then who do you cheer for? And I think that is part of a way two count. That is, for me, their way to avoid, when you return a new team and people are excited about the return, to get away from the cheering fans, because you don't want them cheered, you do something shitty right out of the gate. Io going up top, Mia cutting her off. A couple people saying wardrobe malfunction. Interesting. Yeah, I missed it. I was talking to y'all. I was like, did I have a... Uh-oh. Do you think MJF is going to sign with WWE whenever he recovers from his injury? Pat King, welcome. I don't. I still believe that... Oh, Mia accidentally kicked her in the face, which sounds funny to say, but it wasn't in a spot where she meant to. Styles Clash from the second rope. Over. No way. Io gets the rope. There you go. Yeah, listen, I'm convinced that MJF's still AEW through and through. I don't believe he's leaving. I really don't. And even the comments, like when Adam Cole comes out on Wednesday and says, oh my God, Mia just bounced off the floor. Oh, Meteora. Yeah, when Adam Cole says MJF is gone and we'll never see him again, to me, that's foreshadowing. And we will see him again. Now, maybe he's out longer than we expect, but I can't imagine that he didn't sign a contract extension months ago. I'd be shocked. Now, Tony Khan has proved me wrong before, so we'll see. over the moonsault, and still your woman's champion, Io Sky. How about the Nightmare Authors? The Nightmare Authors. I'm not sold on that yet. We're going to have to play with that one a little bit. The Authors of Nightmares? Nah. Luckily, she's wearing a sports bra. Okay, okay. KJ, did you notice the move they did on Bobby right away, too close to an injury? Let me know. Specifically, like, you mean carrying crosses? And I don't know what you mean by too close to an injury. Like, the move looked fine to me. That's a big man to throw. MJF's not going to WWE. He'll get surgery on his shoulder and show up sometime around All In. I'm kind of with you on that, Daniel. I am. And again, it remains to be seen. Really interesting that they, even them taking him off the roster page as quick as they did, made me question things. So again, it would be one of the Tony Khan's biggest blunders if this is not the case.
I was going to say, speaking of biggest blunders, hi everybody.
I just let it go.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman talking to The Rock.
Hey, we said it would be Heyman that would say something, not Roman.
The Rock needs Roman Reigns.
To sit at the head of the table, one must be invited to a dinner of relevancy.
Right.
The Rock is just like everybody else. I'm debatable.
Two ways to go viral. One, date Taylor Swift. Two, talk about Roman Reigns.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I like SmackDown more than Raw. Yeah, 9 times out of 10. Though Raw was really good this week, so we'll see.
Was it really good without Dwayne, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just asked a question.
The Rock segment wasn't even that good. Other than what he said.
I just asked a question.
It was one of my least favorite parts of the show, was that 12-minute rant.
Don't come at me for asking a question.
I answered the question emphatically.
Emphatically is for sure.
Could you see Trinity and Mercedes on SmackDown or Raw? Well, Bailey's on SmackDown, so if we're gonna tie it to Bailey, it's probably SmackDown.
Right.
Especially with Charlotte on the shelf.
Taylor Swift for life. And I like, though, how Heyman instantly switches it back to whoever wins tonight will get smashed by Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. So we acknowledge The Rock. We said, you've got to show up, to be relevant and everything. And then we go right back into talking about who he's going to face at the Rumble.
That's why he's the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple.
Right.
A lot of people have been asking for this. I saw a lot of chatter online about a midweight or a lightweight or some type of title for all the small guys. I don't disagree with this anymore.
Fair enough. But just don't go full Tony Khan and add too many titles here.
No, not at all. But Pretty Deadly's coming out. So up next, we are going to get the reveal of Pete Dunne's partner.
Right. Where was it? Oh, Vance out here. Rest in peace, Stanley Cup madness at Target.
I don't even know what that means.
No, there's been, so y'all have like what, Yeti and everything like that. Like,
yeah.
Super, like the cup that I drink out of. It's been like madness in the US around Valentine's Day just for like this limited edition like thermosy cup.
Okay.
Welcome to America, where we just get hyped up and crazy about anything and everything.
Yeah, fun fact, Target opened up like a handful of stores in this country and then within a year closed them all down and went back to where they came from. So yeah, no, that's all you.
Fair enough. Should they have called them Timmy Targets? What they have
maybe it might have helped. It might have helped. Yeah, they didn't come in with a good plan.
Right.
Heyman is a promo genius, period. Yeah, checks off all the boxes, reminds you who he is, talks about The Rock real quick, lets Rock know, kind of puts The Rock in his place of, you need Roman. Roman's the one who's relevant. You are not relevant in this universe. You need to be invited to the table. And then he switches his focus to the competition at hand. I think it's great.
Oh, 100%. He got every point across and didn't overstay his welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's it. Right to the point. Is Sheamus coming back tonight to tag with Butch? That's my vote, Jay. I think it's Sheamus. You think it's Tate?
I'll go with David here. I'm saying, come on, give us Tyler Bate. Need Euro trash. No, it'll be 2/3 of British Strong Style.
Yeah. And I don't know if they always, I just caught it, and sometimes we miss it, but it definitely sounds like Dancing Queen as an entrance song. It's hilarious.
Dancing Queen. Well, I mean, one's Elton Prince, so.
Right. Eurovision.
Can Pretty Deadly and Seth form a faction called Pretty Freaking Deadly? What is the evolved form of the Maximum Male Models?
Right. And I like the fact that Logan Paul is spending time with Waller and Theory. I think they all should hang out more often.
So what's your name for that faction?
The Douche Canoes.
That's a good one.
The Douche Baggery.
I like Douche Canoes way better. Rolls off the tongue a bit easier.
What's that?
I said it rolls off the tongue a bit easier.
Right, right. I heard you. I mean, we've all kind of the douche team.
It's hard not to imply that, like, they're the A team because they're the a-holes.
Oh, I like that.
I was just throwing things against the wall here.
Right. Bait and Butch versus DIY. That'd be good. That'd work.
Well, if you're going to split the tag titles, you need a solid tag division. And if you get right there, those two teams, there's a good foundation of your tag division, specifically on SmackDown.
Yep. They were also called Eurotrash. So you picked up on that, Dave, at PWG. I like that. Randy Orton has been pushed to the back of the line. There's too many people in front of him. That was an opportunity for the championship title. Will still win. Interesting, Dion. I don't feel like that Randy Orton's been pushed back at all. Just got here instantly talking about going after Roman. There's a good chance he wins tonight. Do you feel like he's being pushed?
No, I was going to say, I think he's my odds-on favorite to win tonight. I think we very much get one of your headline matches going into the Royal Rumble is Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. And I think that's lining up to be a fantastic match.
Right.
A match I respect that I don't think we've had.
Orton and Randy. At some point, we must have had something somewhere.
Well, but maybe in like
not in this run
tag or anything like that, but not on a singles match that I can recall. Okay, especially at least on this level, and I like even
on this run, yeah.
Well, we saw with Roman's shirt earlier of beyond levels.
We got Belair. Bailey looking like the mom that's still trying to be cool and hanging out with the teenage, like her daughter and friends in this group now at this point. And Belair just showed up to interrupt.
She's the senior that's hanging out with all the freshmen. Of just like, we're cool, right? Yeah, I can totally take us all in my fucking Honda Civic.
Right. I got keys to a car. Let's go.
I'm the only one here with an actual debit card. Even though Oscar's respectfully probably the oldest one here, but she's looking like fine sake out here.
Okay. All right.
But this goes very much to like what we've talked about, at least off screen. I don't know about on screen, to where not only Becky but Bianca could be a very strong favorite for the Women's Rumble to win it.
It's very very factual with that. I mean, Belair could definitely be in that mix, Nick.
I think she's at least Final Four.
Ooh. Everyone kind of gives Bailey a hard time and walks off. That's interesting. The Royal Rumble, sponsored by Cricket. Interesting.
An actual cricket will enter the Royal Rumble.
No, that big fucking one of the cartoon fucking mascots.
Little green blob dude. Yeah. Oh, holy shit! I thought they did an AR disco ball. No, they really have a disco.
Oh no, they got a legit one. Yeah,
that's gigantic.
Dancing Queen, watch and see.
They came out with rollerblades and everything.
Roller skates, my guy.
There we go.
Yeah, right.
Rollerblades is X Games. Roller skates is, Demolition Derby or Roller Derby.
And here comes Butch. Still got the Brawling Brutes screen, including Ridge.
Yeah, a whole lot of Ridge in there when Ridge is now just wearing turtlenecks on NXT.
All right, who's it going to be, folks?
I don't know who said that first. You or Kevin Patrick?
I did. Patrick followed me.
He copied
there me. He is. You were right. Tyler Bate.
Is it interesting, though, that you didn't know sit there and wait for the song or give it any sort of a moment, a breath, a pause, anything?
Yeah, you just kind of kept running the same, like you didn't start and
he
stop.
Came out to Pete Dunne's music.
Yeah, but now we got some Tyler Bate on the screen, so there you go. Mini Mountain instead of Mustache Mountain.
Well, I was going to say, well, now I ask you, did they do the bait and switch?
Right. There you go, Tyler Bate.
I 100% am taking Tyler Bate and Butch here then.
100%. And, the sad part of this is, I want to see these two wrestle on the main roster each other because we all go back to NXT UK and what they did. So let's go.
I was going to say, do we just turn the IC belt almost like the European belt? And we've got Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, etc., etc. That's your IC division there. And it just becomes kind of pretty much the British Strong Style Championship.
Maybe. Again, I almost feel like we're getting close to being able to have some type of smaller guy championship. Bate, Butch, Dragon Lee's on the roster now. Like, I think we're getting close to being able to do that again.
Yeah, they're called the NXT North American Championship and the Heritage Cup Championship.
Yeah, but for the main roster specifically.
No, the main roster, if you're small enough and you're on the main roster and you need to get a championship, then you just go to NXT.
You go down to NXT for a run, yeah.
You wear it on the main roster.
But we're off and running. Who do you got for the win? Bate and Butch. Sheamus cost Bate and Butch the match. Surprise everybody.
You just want Sheamus here just so you're right.
I don't know why. By the way, in Vancouver tonight, so shout out to my West Coast brethren. I can take a guy who wrestles in Underoos serious. I can't take a guy in Underoos. We've been doing it for decades, my guy. What's the difference whether or not it's striped?
I was going to say, Underoos.
Underoos.
But yeah, seriously. Well, let's go back and look at, the 80s, 70s, even the early 90s, and there was many people out there in their fucking dungaroos as world champions. Christ, Hulk Hogan didn't wear pants until he joined WCW and the NWO.
Facts. There was a couple times.
When?
Whoa!
Oh!
That looked almost like dangerous.
That looked like it wasn't going to work, and it somehow worked. So
go left, go left.
Right, zig when I zag. So Pete Dunne with the moonsault into the catch, like the reverse DDT, the almost 1916, and then Dunne comes flying in, and it literally looked like they were going to cross midstream there.
Yeah. Wow, this crowd sucks. Wonder why they do international. They're in Canada. This crowd's all right. They're in Vancouver.
Right.
Yeah, it's Vancouver. That's why.
A bunch of crazy Canucks out there.
Right. Son of a bitches. This shows me they're getting ready for a tag title split. 2 new tag teams tonight. I agree, my guy.
Well, we said it you've got a tag team division developing on SmackDown. And interesting enough, I wanted to bring it up as we're in commercial break 5, 6 right now. While I was on my pause of now with this whole group with Cross debuting, you very much have established Bobby and the Profits as the babyface faction.
100%.
You initially we all thought they were going to be heel. Now you're the babyface.
Yeah, no, like again, initially they were kind of presented as they were going to be heelish. We felt like there was going to be, and they did. They jumped like Lawo when Lawo was super babyface, organically started getting cheers. And I think the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon is Triple H hears the crowd, and Vince McMahon just doesn't give a fuck. And so you kind of got to organically lean into that. And there was some debate while you were on your break. AOP jumping them from behind instantly establishes that heel heat and pushes Bobby and the Profits into that babyface role.
Was it just in the latter years that Vince forgot to change the battery in his hearing aid and no one could communicate to him to change the battery or anything with him not hearing the crowd?
Right.
But yeah. It's right. Triple H is able to mold and blend that combination of old school pro wrestling and current modern day pro wrestling, which Vince did just a decade or two beforehand. Time passed Vince by, and time passes everybody by. And now we've got Hunter who can do that at the peak of this game right now. This is like going from this is like, if you were the Bulls or something and you went from Jordan to LeBron, you've got the best of the old generation handing the torch off to the best of this generation.
And yeah, we saw that with Karrion Kross's debut. We talked about it earlier of like, the BDSM Cross was not a good idea. Bearcat Keith Lee sucked. He still wanted to do the gimmicky shit that didn't resonate with the current fans. And Triple H gets that.
Oh, fair enough. That reminds me of something. I wanted to almost put it out there with now the whole Wardlow just basically being Lucha Kane just in the Undisputed Kingdom. Right. I almost want to just do the Keith Lee tweet of, if what I'm hearing about Wardlow is right, then I feel then poor Wardlow, because man was on top of the mountain, literally and figuratively, and now you're just a henchman that just goes and fetch me what I want.
Right. We got a tag, hot tag. Here comes Bate.
Bate versus Kit.
Taking everything down. A little bit of a buzz in the crowd.
Well, and that's what you need. Again, if you're going to have an exclusive tag team belt and a whole tag team division exclusively to SmackDown, you need investment in tag teams.
Yes. You got to make us believe.
Now, do you make us Bo leave at some point? Do we get a Bo turn?
I hope so, man. I really do. I know we've debated it a little bit, but I really would like to see Bo back in any capacity. I was a fan of Bo Dallas, and I think he's, he's still relatively, a young man, and he can get back in there in some way, shape, or form. Again, there was rumors of maybe it being tied to Karrion Kross and such. It doesn't look like that will be the case, but I would like him to come back for sure.
Has Bates a spinning instead of swinging?
I'm getting dizzy watching this shit.
That's just the vitamins.
The facts.
But I mentioned this, I think, on your pause while Kross and them debuted. Did it feel like it had a tinge of the Wyatt Six or what we could have had potentially? And I'm starting to soften on the idea of if we turn that man inside out.
The springboard clothesline, which I love. I think it's like one of the best looking like kind of clothesline moves done that way, where he bounces off the top rope.
Oh, the recoil, the recoil kind of clothesline. That's still one of my favorite moves because the man looks like he literally just rewinds himself.
Yeah, boing.
Right. I am softening on the idea of Bo Dallas coming back, and if it's not just an out and outright tribute, but if it's just an extension of a carry on, and it doesn't go straight to the main raw, like top of the card.
No, I don't think he would go straight to the top of the card kind of thing. But I do like the idea of I am Bo Dallas or I am, a Rotunda. And this, the loss of my brother has broke me. And this is who I am now. Beware. Like that kind of the continuation of the story from Bo's perspective.
Coming 2030 to theaters instead of the Iron Claw, we get the Mandible Claw.
It's over!
As Pete Dunne.
Butch and Bate for the win.
Bait and tackle.
Bait and tackle. I like that, actually. Bait and tackle.
But yeah, I feel like coming to theaters 2030, the Rotunda Claw.
Right. I mean, again, another, a legendary wrestling family, realistically.
I hope that I kind of like it. I'm just nervous that it's going to be one of those that it's not taken for what it is. It's taken for, seeing your favorite rock group just doing a tribute tour or something like that.
I don't think it's going like I don't imagine you could do it really as a like in that regard of a tribute. Like you gotta again, the story has to have substance to it, and the fact that the man genuinely lost his brother, and I think that's a compelling story to tell.
Well, absolutely. As now we're getting the LA Night video package. So you called it we did get separate video packages for each competitor here. So they're really building this up in this main event, which is great. Where was it? C Money made me chuckle here. I want to give him a star.
It's like him. He's like that.
Yeah. Bait and switch.
There you go. Bait and switch, bait and tackle.
I was gonna say now that's which one of those tag team names is that we should do that as a poll.
Bait and master.
No. That's two on the nose.
Right. The guy that played Harley Race was on point. Yes. The guy that played Ric Flair out to lunch. Who casted Flair? The guy's still alive. Like
my wife audibly chuckled when she saw who was playing Ric Flair. Granted, I was an asshole because she wasn't prepared for just tragedy. But there was literally audible laughs when Ric Flair, like Jay Lethal could have done a better Ric Flair.
Oh my God. I was like, is this guy serious right now? Did you not watch a single Flair promo?
Ever? Did you ever like wrestling? Ever?
You think
Harley Race's guy wasn't too bad.
I thought he was pretty good.
He kind of looked like your local, you found him at a truck stop in Canada.
The way of the road, bro.
Oh, fucking way she goes, boys. I was interested, and I actually really liked, surprisingly to me the most, was the guy who played Bruiser Brody. I'm interested in that to be, and that's what as we're in another commercial break now, so I'll say this. I'm glad that this movie did really well because I want more movies like this to be made.
Yeah. A lot of talk about Eddie Guerrero potentially being made. I've seen some call outs of some of the actors that they want, the fans want. But yeah, like Eddie Guerrero has been bounced around, but there's a lot of good stories and not all tragic stories as well, right? Like there are some triumphant stories.
I thought of granted, you might have to cut it off past a certain point here. Yep. Otherwise it gets to do something strange there. But Jerry the King Lawler out there in Memphis.
Oh, I would love that. I'm such a big
sit there and just watch the Memphis run. Like that's the thing is I don't know about you, but I know when we were there, I was like the only actual wrestling fan versus this is going to be a good movie. Like drag my wife there. And so everybody else is like, oh, this is going to happen. I was like, nope, it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets a whole lot better.
Yeah. I mean, again, and you kind of watch and you know where it's going. And again, they literally had to kind of like they cut out certain people because they're like, we can't do it all. Like,
actually, I know Boston's halfway trolling here with saying I want a Jeff Jarrett movie. It'd be really interesting.
The Jarrett family would be a great movie.
No, what I thought was interesting with this is almost if you could have done the Iron Claw, but do it as like a mini series.
Yeah,
I think that you could have really explained a lot of shit out. But if you did that style with like WCW, respectfully, you got 2 seasons, 3 seasons at least.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I like the idea. I think we could have got a little more out of the Iron Claw story if it was like you wouldn't have to take Chris out of the equation and such.
That was just there's enough tragedy. Like I've cried enough. I don't need 2 boxes of tissues. Right. One's enough.
Right. And I mean, again, maybe MJF gets a bigger role if you have more time to tell the story, right? You don't want to sit there for a 4.5-hour movie. That became the dilemma.
Well, that was the only potential drawback to it. Like it did get everything across, and it was still a phenomenal movie. Like I intend to purchase that once that's available. I sat there and already even have the score on my phone. was that if you gave more time and you could explain the time lapses and everything, like there was so many times you were rushing through phases of stuff that it's like, boom, this happened, boom, that happened, boom, that happened, that it almost made you feel worse about it because it felt like everything happened back to back, but it really didn't happen that way.
Yeah. No, and again, that's where, like you said, a mini series would be wonderful. I'm dying. Like, I want that style movie, that style, show with Vince McMahon. I want the Vince McMahon, and
that
I know
will
there's been a lot
never
of
happen.
I know, but see, you could get away with, like, they want to do the docu-series, and I know they've been bouncing
Didn't
around.
Vice put something out?
They try. Well, there was Netflix was working on one. I think it's done, but Vince has all like a say in a lot of what was happening in the original one. Now, apparently, there's another one that he has less say in. But if you just did like that kind of vibe to it, the Vince story, I mean, that would be crazy. You said King would be a fun one. I even think someone like HBK, because you could follow his rise, his fall, and then his triumph.
I mean, I'm amazed that you haven't mentioned this of Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, yeah. I mean,
honestly, if you did an Iron Claw of the screw job.
Well, and then you have the tragedy of Owen and his father passing. Like, there's a lot.
You could do the whole Hart family.
Right? That's the Dynamite Kid passes away. Bulldog doesn't make it.
I love that we got the Iron Claw and it's gotten the reception that it has, because now that opens the door that we can have this conversation of, can they do this? Should they do that? I would love if they did this. That it's opening eyes to wrestling in a different avenue outside of watching the weekly product.
Absolutely.
How many people are going to watch that and then want to go back and get a membership to the network or the Peacock or whatever, so they can sit there and go and watch WCW?
You would hope that there's some correlation there for sure. Interesting. And I mean, again, if you have relapsed fans, if you have like the old school fans that refuse to watch modern wrestling, maybe it does tickle their fancy a little. And they're like, well, they get in the wrestling mode because now they're looking for more wrestling content. There's a lot of potential. We got Nick Aldis on screen.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Oh, no, it's not. Dude, I thought it was Jimmy.
I'm trying to remember who this is.
It's Adonis.
Oh, Ashante.
Then why does your hat say GOAT?
I mean, this is interesting because think about it. Flop Dollar's gone. B-Fab is out there, I guess, playing, God knows what.
She might be the counter to Scarlett at some point now. Or Bianca.
I don't. If you put Ashante right now against Cross, that's a feeder.
Oh, no, not Ashante. Just in the other feud, because Scarlett, you but I like
you could have Ashante just riding solo.
Oh, solo. And you do have like a Cedric out there still signed to the company that's not doing anything or just doing main event. So
Apollo,
I'm surprised, but technically a nice little reintroduction for Ashante Adonis. But literally, we had to take a moment and be like, who the fuck is that guy?
Right. Who the fuck is that guy? So next week we're getting Bianca versus Bayley, and we're also getting Cameron Grimes versus Grayson Waller.
Right.
Now, does that count as a return of Ashante?
Whoa.
I still haven't yet to really see them call LeWo, so I'm just going to keep calling them other names.
The Legado.
Los Lotharios.
And it's time for the main event. Shit, night flies.
Got a half hour. Got a half hour and then still another hour.
Yes. But AJ Styles in the house. That was so much better than what he used to do. I like that.
Right.
The pyro on cue. He tosses the hood back without his hand. That worked well. A New Jack movie. A Paul Heyman movie would be fun.
Paul Heyman movie would be fun. A New Jack movie is going to be NC-17.
Yeah. I mean, Dark Twisted. Yeah. I mean, I'm in. The ECW miniseries. I'm down. Let's go.
Again, like I said, you do that. You run this. I know we had it with Device and everything, but you shoot it and actually do this. You do this with ECW. You do this with WCW. You do this with the fucking NWA, fucking Mid-South, fucking Memphis Wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm creating a whole territory universe out here.
You start throwing those mini, season after season up on, like, season 1 is one company, season 2 is the next company, maybe. Yeah,
you can do 2 or 3 seasons. I bet you on a couple of these
for sure. Yeah,
you can have separate ones of each.
You want it to be greedy? Yeah.
Hey, Netflix, anybody like that?
Yeah,
we'll be your Kevin Feige here in the wrestling cinematic universe here.
Right. I hope it's more accurate than Napoleon. I haven't seen Napoleon, so we'll see.
That trailer will scare you the shit out of watching Napoleon. I haven't watched it yet, but
yeah, Paul Giamatti, the Paul Heyman movie. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Perfect casting.
Yeah, 100% nailed it.
The only one that can play Happy Heyman outside of Heyman himself.
Good shit, pal. That's what you call it.
No, you'd have to call it like No Chance in Hell or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good title. I'll give you that. As LA Knight getting going, the Shane McMahon story. All right, not bad. I think you got to do all the
money.
There goes the money. I hear voices in my head.
They come to me.
Stop, smile, Mark. How you doing? Sting.
Yeah.
Moment of Truth came out in 2004.
Who's your what now?
I don't know.
You can have that.
I want Gilbert to star in the Goldberg movie.
As the stunt double.
Yeah, right. 171 million views for Dwayne Johnson as expected.
Right.
Look, reminds me of Eazy-E. Yeah, I think like the mesh back hat with goat on it was a bit of a stretch. Maybe put dog on it.
I respectfully, almost for half a second, thought it was Wesley. Well, because when he first that was sad as shit though when he left and everything. So I was like, well, when's he gonna come back? Yeah, oh my god. And I was like, are we talking over Wesley coming back right now?
Right. Well, when they first walked in the room, I thought it was Jimmy. I thought it was Jimmy until he like sat down. I'm like, that's not Jimmy. Don't Jimmy me, Jules.
You're not Ron.
Let me talk to you. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah.
The Viper. Who we taking? Who is going to be the number 1 contender for Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. You're taking My Chemical Styles Clash. I'm taking Randy Orton.
Yeah, I'll go Styles just for shit.
You were taking him earlier. Did I switch it up on you or something?
No. I was reaffirming my pick. Little Nate in the ring. Yeah, I mean, if you could get somebody to play Nate properly, do a whole Nature Boy fucking story. That is a story that needs.
That should have been the fucking cameo. Is you get Little Nate to play Nate, but granted, I mean, he's not showing up. He's not having that match. You're not having him walk back through the locker room. He just has to take off his stilts to actually be as tall as Nate.
LA Knight for the win. LA Knight needs the win. I don't know if he needs the win, JV.
I think Randy wins and we get an LA Knight versus AJ Styles feud coming out of this.
Yeah, I'm good with that. RKO on Roman. They need to go ahead and make it happen. Yeah, the Heyman story got that one. You guys pop if Big E returns in the Rumble. Absolutely. Big E returning would be a big pop, a very emotional, good to see feels for sure.
Big E could return here, there, or anywhere, and I'm gonna fucking lose my mind the second I see Big E show up on my screen.
Yeah, when you get that,
WWE Universe, don't you dare be sour.
Now we're getting a reminder on Monday. Cody will take on Shinsuke Nakamura, who's officially entering the Rumble as well. Shinsuke's reason is he's just trying to fuck up Cody's plans. So I'm all for it. Let's go.
Right. As we've got RKO for the win, Randy for the win, Randy for the win. That was R-Truth's homie, little Jimmy, making his on-screen debut. RKO for the win. Richard agreeing with you. I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess. AJ Styles for the win. He's calling Roman screws both LA Knight and Orton.
But that doesn't. Well, why would he screw 2 out of 3? Because 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Like, why?
You gotta know when. Let LA Knight or AJ win. I want Orton to take the belt off Roman at SummerSlam.
Possibly.
Potential DQ. Now, if we get a DQ, do we get a fatal four-way?
You can't get a DQ in a triple. There's no DQ in a triple threat. None. Nada. Zip.
What about a no contest?
No contest, I think, would disappoint me. Give us a straight up. You got 3 guys in the ring. Let's get to a finale. Some type of finality here.
And he's saying Orton wins. I will pop, even if he's in catering, passing pies or pancakes.
Yeah, or slices of pizza.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Some bootios for everybody.
You get a bootio, and you get a bootio. I foresee Roman being forced to defend an Elimination Chamber. Rock costs him his title. Randy Orton wins, sets up Cody versus RKO at Mania.
Yeah, I really can't see Roman not being the champion going into Mania. I'm struggling with that idea.
No, if you get Roman, or if you get Randy versus Cody, I think it's Cody defending his title, and Cody and Orton's the heel versus any sort of that way.
Yeah, I mean, still part of me thinks that if you're gonna do Rock, do it at Elimination Chamber. Roman getting a huge win over, Roman getting a huge win over The Rock, defending his title against The Rock in front of 60,000 people, just continues to solidify his legend, the run that he's been on, the story that he's told. And again, then now it makes it an even bigger accomplishment for Cody or somebody to knock him off.
Do they intentionally keep going with this to take down the Hogan record? That's been talked about.
I think we pitched this the other night when we were debating things, and that's my only concern. If Vince McMahon was in the driver's seat, 100% believe they would go after that record. I'm not sure where Triple H is at with that. That is my one fear of, Roman's that close to Hogan. Do we just let him run it out to the end of 2024? But I don't know if the fans are going to be thrilled with that. And I mean, I think there's just too many superstars that could have that belt and make that belt consistently on TV, opposed to what's happening right now.
It's one of those it was really cool to make this like a damn near 3-year storyline. It's going to be really interesting to try and make it a 4 and a 5 and maybe a 6-year storyline.
Yeah, and you know what? You're the modern day record holder. Good enough, right? Hogan's the old school record holder. Santino's the older school holder. Let's just move on.
But are you the modern day Maharaja?
A lot of people putting up the graphics of Jinder versus The Rock at Elimination Chamber.
I'm seeing people calling for Jinder versus Roman.
Oh, wow.
As LA Knight gets whipped in the corner there.
Yes. This is one of the neat little fun facts of 2024. Samoan Josephs are running the wrestling world.
Right. Samoan Josephs running wild in pro wrestling.
There you go.
Oh, and I guess we'll talk about it. I'll mention it real quick as I've got Irish whip from LA dumps AJ on the outside. That
Randy
Tamatonga's sorry.
Randy sent him with him.
Yeah, I was just going to mention how Tamatonga's put out there he's announced that this is pretty much his last month with New Japan, and then going forward, he intends to wrestle in the United States.
Yes. He's talked about it. I think Hukuleo talked about it as well, being close.
Well, we've already seen Lance Anawahi getting his release from MLW. And again, it's not just let's just pile all the Samoans. It's literally that bloodline's that big that they're all fucking actually related.
Right?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, as AJ's just getting his head planted into the announce table. Oh, back body drop onto it.
Vintage Orton on the table.
And the table with no give.
No.
Not even a little. Now, going with the kayfabe of how, the ring steps, and now AJ eats the table too, and again, no give. But how the stairs are supposed to weigh 1,000 pounds and everything, is the announce table more structurally sound if the dome thing on top of it is there or if it gets taken off, because it feels like it has to be thrown off for it to break.
Yeah, it cushions the blow is the problem.
Right.
As he gets dropped on the table again,
everybody's getting
wild. Feels like everybody was waiting for the main event tonight, as I like it.
Absolutely. Just don't end up like one of the Singh brothers there, to where Randy's having to do like the "I just killed a man" face as Orton takes a backdrop now on the table. And again, this table will not quit.
And Aldis is out there? Was that Aldis?
Yeah, does Aldis screw Orton because of obviously the RKO and the "I'm so confident I'm going to sit there and I paid ahead for the next time I do it"?
Right, maybe.
Or at least, I think at least now we're getting Randy Orton win, lose, or draw as RKO and Nick Aldis right now.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Once Cody wins the belt, will he hold it for a year or more? Maybe.
Oh,
I can see him
going for the Styles Clash, and Randy Orton. Everybody was kung fu fighting, just karate chop the ropes.
One of my favorite forearm spots is when he faked it and Randy went down for the RKO. Oh shit! Setting up some vintage Orton.
Now we're getting shout out Michael Cole. Now we're getting the vintage Orton, the drape over DDT.
And that backdrop on the fucking table's vintage to me.
Everything's vintage.
With Orton, he's got some vintage shit.
To me, respectfully, the Irish whip into like the snap over like side slam to me is one of my favorite moves from Orton.
Dun, dun, dun.
Big Randy Orton chance right now.
WrestleVotes says Rumble will be a fatal 4-way. I wouldn't believe anything WrestleVotes says. Sorry. That's just to make y'all click and read nothing.
Exactly.
I need an Anawani Fatu movie. Yeah, man. That's a
mini-series right there. And call it The Bloodline.
Oh, have a bigger cast than Titanic.
Have a bigger cast. Yeah.
I think WWE could end up losing a lot of goodwill they've recently built. Again, that'd be hard to do. If they drag it too much longer, you have to eventually give the fans a satisfying moment. Yeah, I mean, there was so much good going on in the company, yes. But I think that's kind of my mindset, Dave, is that, all right, enough's enough. Like, yes, a historic run by Roman, that's great. But there's so much talent there that could make the title picture exciting and be more consistently involved with the shows that, yeah, I mean, sooner than later, let's pull the trigger.
Granted, on one hand, I feel like I want to just do the Will Smith meme thing and just show like the triple threat that we're getting right now and just be like, look at it. Like, this is the match that we're getting, just a challenge for the man.
Yeah.
There's still, it's helped as much as some people want to say that it's hindered of the fact that Roman has been the final boss in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think with the gaps in his appearances, and again, you got Orton, you got LA, you got AJ, and you can go down, you got Bobby. Like, you have more opportunity for guys than, the trying to like be a number one contender every 5-6 months, right? Like, there's more opportunity there, more excitement when you have somebody actively involved. And for a long time, it was fine, especially when there was less talent kicking around. But I don't know. I'm getting into that end of the road with this. I'm gonna boys to men.
You have more talent that fights and competes and makes bigger weekly shows because they're competing to be the top guy and everything. Even in the Hogan era or anything like that, Hogan wasn't defending the fucking title every week. He would sit there and show up and just be,
I don't
what you gonna do, brother?
To be defended every week, though. I really don't. But what Roman's doing since SummerSlam last year, the bloodline's been cold and uninteresting. Roman's been barely involved in anything. And again, there isn't a whole lot of excitement around it. Like I said when they introduced the new title that it was going to eclipse this title. And I believe it has, because Seth versus Punk, Seth versus Shinsuke, Seth versus Drew. Like, there is more involvement. And Seth doesn't defend his title every week, but he defends it once in a while. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. If you have a major pay-per-view and your champ's not even on it, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, but has this been more the bloodletting of the bloodline, in the sense of, now think about it. We've got one of the biggest things talked about right now in pro wrestling is Dwayne versus Roman. And now that could be setting up a whole new contingent after this. Even if it's just a one match with Dwayne, with The Rock, there's still other names thrown out there. We named off half a dozen of them, not to mention Jacob Fatu, etc. That,
yeah, but if, I mean, again,
a different avenue to go with this. I feel
if Roman's going to be involved, and there's going to be some new blood in it, and there's some resurgence, fine. But at some point, it's got to change. Like, it's the same thing. Like, we've seen this story.
But
play
is
out.
this the changing? Is this, like I said, is this the bloodletting of the bloodline?
I don't know.
We saw Jey Uso become his own top guy. We're seeing Jimmy break off into where, we're going to get probably. No, I'm not. I said Jay's broken off. And I said that we're going to end up probably, I feel, Jay versus Jimmy at WrestleMania.
I think
we're talking about Solo as one of the breakout performers for 2023. The man retired John Cena. So this could be a lull in the system here, lull before we revamp for season 2.
Yeah, but now we're on season 3, season 4, we've been having.
Well, we got to refresh. Sometimes you got to recast.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point the series got to come to an end, and you go on to a spinoff. Like, let's shut this down. And again, it all changes if Roman's going to be around. And I never said defend the title weekly. If Roman's going to be around and make it interesting, great. I'll shut up. That's perfect. We can keep moving forward. But if he's not going to be if he's only going to be on the show once every 3 months and do very little, it gets tiresome, because I got guys like AJ Styles that can be on the show, will be on the show, and make the title interesting.
But what if them challenging for the title is what's interesting? That you do enough.
But that only goes so far, because once you're out of this picture, then where do you go? Okay, you didn't win tonight. Then what? All right, you go into a mid-card feud. Great. Then what? I think both, a Randy Orton and AJ Styles, even an LA Knight, deserve better than that.
Fair enough. It's going to be, to me, I think, if they're going to do the Roman Dwayne thing, it's going to be interesting where that goes, where we come out of that, especially because that is, we've talked about it as could be your apex, WrestleMania main event. That is
it's huge.
A notch in time. That's your Rock Hogan match. That's one of those. That's going to be a stamp in history when it comes to pro wrestling.
I really agree. I mean, and there's no arguing what that match means, and the magnitude of it. But then, once you fall out of that, then what? That's kind of your pinnacle. That's kind of where you where do you go from there and make it interesting? That will be the challenge. Plot twist. Russian leg sweep.
Right.
LA Knight, the only one standing right now.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then hits running side knee in the corner on AJ Styles.
Yeah, Solo being the one that I just can't see Solo. No offense to anyone. Think about this, guys. Solo as the face of the company in 2024 right now, he's not ready. He's not. He's hand him a mic. What can he offer us? Not much. Paul Heyman will help him, but Roman had to find his words. Solo as the face of the company or the face of a brand, he's young. He's very, very young. Solo standing face to face with a LA Knight or a Randy only gets you so far, I think, right now. Give him the US title.
Solo is right now, I think, if you had the Paul Heyman that was with Brock Lesnar just paired up with Umaga, except you need about 2 to 3 years, I think, to let that fucking marinate and rise to the top.
Yeah, he's just got some more maturing to do. We're so all right, he did some good stuff, make him champ. Not yet.
You need investment on characters. That's really what it comes down to.
Right now, AJ and LA going back and forth, folks. Good match tonight for the main event. Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Well, and it's so interesting that I like AJ's the heel in this match, but I know if he went in the match with Roman, he's going to be the babyface.
AJ? Yeah, because Roman's a
Yeah.
heel.
I know, but it's AJ's supposed to be the heel, right?
Well, he's like the dark AJ. He hasn't really committed to anything.
He's emo. He's My Chemical Styles Clash.
Right, but that's why I think him versus LA might work really well, because then it establishes, all right, AJ's the the heel with an attitude. LA's clearly the baby face.
Right.
We're getting AJ Styles chance in the arena, so there goes that. NWO was the hottest thing in wrestling, but they held on to the group too long. Bloodline is heading in the same direction. Yeah. Especially with your theory of like bringing in a whole bunch of other Samoans. Now you're just fucking NWO Wolfpack and etc. Your bloodline Wolfpack.
Well, it depends on how you do it, or it depends on how you execute the play. You can still call the same play, but if one team gets a first down and the other team takes a 10-yard loss.
Oh shit.
Oh,
LA Knight look busted. On the 450. We got busted open. Look. Oh, wait. I thought he caught him on the 450.
No, he very much did. He very much did.
Okay,
that just went right there. Yeah, no Dave LaGreca, no Mark Henry, no Bubba Ray, but we got busted open right now.
Yeah, we got gushing.
We got color, and hey, they didn't turn the picture into black and white or anything like that, so I guess they must be okay with it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Boston. This good match. Randy's down and out right now. We haven't seen him in a hot minute, so keep your eyes on the back end of this. But LA Knight's bleeding from the forehead, and AJ setting him up for the Styles Clash.
That's my only little bit of a flaw with this match, and a constant issue with triple threat matches is it becomes just a singles match with somebody sitting on the outside.
You feel like that about this?
So, like I said, it's still been a good match, but like right there, that whole segment, he fucked off for 5 minutes.
He didn't really fuck off. He got hurt.
RKO!
It's over!
No! No! LA Knight drags out Little Nate.
Little Nate's to the floor.
AJ going for the phenomenal forearm and eats RKO, and then LA Knight drags out the ref. It makes me eat all of my words of saying, anything negative about this match.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where, especially in multi-man match, it gets too much, but you do have those moments where someone legitimately just got hit with a move. They got to sell. Oh, ref bump and bloodline. This is interesting.
And I called this out earlier when the first two video packages they all focused on starting with when the bloodline took them out.
Jason,
I need that hoodie of levels above.
You see that? You got me, Jason?
Who's your what? As Roman just sends Solo.
And they're taking out LA. Now Randy.
Oh, who's going to show up to break this up? If you smell, I'm telling you.
No way.
Somebody's got to show up to break this up.
What if it ends up being a fatal four-way, which Boo earns a little bit?
Boo earns. But then again, it gets interessante of who's in the Rumble if you just took out 4 people, at least 2 people that you thought were clearly going to be in there. Rainey eats the steps.
El Idolo! No.
And again, Roman's just holding court right now. He's not doing anything. He's just holding court.
A McMahon in every corner. I'm down. Let's go.
A DX in every corner. We got X-Pac. We got Road Dogg. We got HBK. We got Paul.
Rumor is X-Pac's going to be in the Rumble. I'm trying to figure out if he comes in at 1, 2, 3, or 6.
10. X-Pac.
Powerbomb to AJ. Nick Aldis just standing idle like,
Yeah,
what do I
the
do?
fuck? You're the goddamn commissioner. Do something.
Well,
Act like you've been here.
Well, what's this commission supposed to do?
End the match. No, this is where you get
can't
your
end the
fatal
match.
four-way.
You can't end the match.
What do you mean? You're the general manager.
Why would you end the match?
We're getting a whole destruction by one faction. We're getting a destruction of this whole match as LA Knight eats a Superman punch.
Yeah. I'm going to say it. Look, we always say it. We call it the way we see it, guys. And I don't love this. Spear.
Eats a spear. Nice to see
Roman do some shit.
And Little Nature's looking at all of this. He's sitting there holding the back of his head looking. What are we doing?
Well, it's a triple threat match. There's no way to stop it. Like, you fight to a finish. And right now, like you would normally, it would be a DQ, but he sees what's happening. He can't do shit about it.
That is fucking valid. God damn it. But still, if you're all this to me, like, step up. Have some marbles.
No yeet. Yeah, no yeet t-shirts. Let's go. No yeet. Uh-oh. And Orton takes the spear.
Spear.
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, because when you have a yeet and a blurry yeet, the next thing you can do is a no yeet.
And Paul just rubbing it in Aldis's face.
To me, though, that's the thing, is this castrates Aldis as a character. Like...
You think so? I don't.
I think it does. You're the fucking general manager. Act like you're some sort of authority figure outside of you just sitting there.
Yeah, fatal four-way at Rumble.
Nah.
That's what he said. So that's... Yeah, there you go.
That's horseshit.
I didn't like it. He just earned himself a fatal four-way.
That was a fucking awful, falafel, terrible way to end that. God
yeah, that's to me, that's a little bit of chicken shit booking, to be 100% honest. Boston thinks it's great. No, you didn't. Wow, y'all called it. Somebody in the chat said it earlier, and I said they were full of shit. Fatal four-way at Rumble. So that's where the GM, who can't physically get involved technically, he just walks over to the manager and says, "Oh, that's great that you just did that. Now you can have a fatal four-way. Way to go." So I think, what he's not necessarily castrated as you explained. However, the ending is not desirable for me.
Hatui on your match, hatui on your stable, hatui on your GM. 100%. That was awful falafel of you. He could have sat there and just grabbed the fucking microphone of Roman and sit there and just actually act like you have some authority. I understand it's
I get that. Yeah.
Of at least at Roman, you want to keep doing this, that's fine, but you're gonna end up into that situation instead of this pussyfoot fucking situation of just literally, if you hadn't have pretty much silenced all of us and just focused on what Nick Aldis was saying, we would have missed all of that. Of he's gonna have a fatal four-way match. I don't know why I'm whispering it this close into your ear, Paul.
Yeah, I don't think it was more just that. All right, I got you. But I agree with that as far as maybe grabbing the mic and saying, "Hey, knock it off. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this, Roman.
You're not going to like me, Roman. You pushed me off. We've had a conversation. Yeah. I run this show. You don't." All that to me showed is Roman runs this goddamn show. Respectfully.
But that he does, right? Like that's, yes. So if that's what you got out of it, that's probably what they wanted you to get out of it.
But you need a power struggle. You need at least him to act like Nick Aldis could still go in the ring today. He needs to at least act like he's got some huevos, some marbles. You have no marbles.
Yeah, but I think you're looking at it as from like the guy who knows Nick Aldis is a wrestler, not just Nick Aldis.
I'm looking at it from the guy who's got any sort of logic going into it. He's the fucking authority figure of the GM.
They don't give a fuck. They run the show. They'll do it right in front of your face.
Adam Pearce would have acted more fucking aggressive in that whole situation.
He couldn't do shit about it. It's Roman. How many times has he been mad at Roman or somebody? Like, again, I get your point, and I don't disagree with you, where they could have made it a little more dramatic and given Aldis more of a visible authority kind of feel to it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the biggest problem with this is I was looking forward to a defined number one character or contender. Making this a fatal 4-way is your way to let Roman sit at home until Rumble and have these three guys argue amongst themselves for the next few weeks. Going back to my point earlier that maybe we're getting, it's rough.
You get a handoff here now.
But yeah, not my favorite choice. I mean, I don't really care for a fatal 4-way for Rumble.
No.
And especially when we're going to see these guys in the fucking Rumble.
I was going to say, so now you've got all three of those guys out of the Rumble.
Potentially, yeah.
So now we've got Rampage kicking off, as well as I've got Mark Briscoe and Kip Sabian tying up right now, as we've got Kip Sabian, the Butcher and the Blade, versus Mark Briscoe and the Hardy Boys. So we've got Delaware meets North Carolina.
Right. So yeah, you can let the Hardy Boys are kind of in this situation where they are always in some type of like us and someone else. Like they're always in these trios matches.
Because they can't us anymore. So they need that someone else.
Just, poor Mark Briscoe. Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Like fucking just let the guy have a run.
Seriously.
But yeah, folks, we will take a rating out of 10 on SmackDown. If you want to start throwing that in the chat, we are going to continue on and watch Rampage, break that all down for you guys. I was a little underwhelmed with tonight's show. I don't know why. It just felt flat from start to finish. I liked the opening match. I thought it was really good. But, I don't know. It was just tonight lacked something.
It peaked, and then it was on the decline.
Right? Like, I liked the Karrion Kross shit. It was good. Everything was good tonight. It was just a good show. And I think maybe my expectations were too high.
Well, no, that they sold us on the expectations being that high. I think they oversold and underdelivered. Like I said, I think it peaked around that, the AOP return, the Bobby Cross thing and everything, maybe the match or so after that. And then beyond that, it was, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, like Michin, Io Sky was okay. Didn't stand out. And
it felt like it had no build. Did anyone predict anyone besides Io?
No, and I mean Michin won a title shot. Like that's how we got there. So yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of feel to it. The OC, I mean, they have no impact on the show at all. See what I did there? But we got the Butcher and Matt Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
I got Matt.
I've got Blade and Jeff Hardy. Now I
got Butcher and Matt Hardy.
Am I behind you still somehow?
Probably. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm on the webpage.
Weird way to end the show. Yeah, I mean, not a weird way. I just feel like it's. And listen, we promise people out there that we hold all the shows to the same standard. To me, it feels like chicken shit booking of we don't know who we want to go over at all, so we'll just shove them all into the ring together, and then they can fuck each other up at Rumble. That leads to a match at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it's not a weird way. It's a weak way to end the show.
Yeah, it feels.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Smash them and stack them.
He's saying with Roman with probably just stack him and pin him.
That won't be good for anybody.
No, that's how you job out 3 people in one match.
I mean, on paper, you're like, okay, LA Knight, like the 3 guys we had tonight and Roman in a fatal 4-way for the title should be a pretty good match. And on paper, that sounds like a blockbuster. I don't know why, just not what we were looking for. Like, I'm not really thrilled about it.
We both talked about it in one way or another. You wanted a defined winner in that match.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 in that match go and have their own independent singles feud outside of that. That's where we're going. Now, instead, it feels like nobody wins except for Roman because Roman's clearly not losing that match.
No, not. I couldn't imagine him losing. All right, unless
you're not doing a Randy versus Cody at
right
Mania. You're not doing an AJ Styles versus Cody at Mania. You're not doing an LA Knight versus Cody at Mania.
Well, people are going to think, well, maybe The Rock shows up at Rumble, costs Roman the title, but he's not involved in the finish, right? Like AJ or Randy pins AJ or Randy pins LA or vice versa. and then Roman's not even pinned to lose his belt. But I can't imagine him losing his belt. I really can't.
If the way that Roman loses that belt is he isn't even pinned for it,
Brr.
that's like a giant asterisk on that whole reign, I feel.
Yeah, I don't like it. Hardy's for the win, says Easy Bake is, yeah, they're still rolling along here.
I was going to say, you can tell how much the Hardy Boys can do with Mark Briscoe has been 95% of this match.
Right? Oh, Kip Sabian off the, there you go. 8 out of 10, great show with a great ending. There you go. Okay. I like it. I like the fact that some people loved it. I'm not as low as a 6. I'm not as high as an 8. I think I can give this show a 7. I thought we had a lot of good stuff in it. I don't know. Something just felt off tonight, like flat. Maybe it was just I'm not in the mood. I don't know, but it just felt flat.
I'll go with you with that on a 7 of that whole ending is what really sucked the air out of everything. It felt like you were having a great match. You wanted a defined winner there, and then the second you had the whole bloodline come out and just kept beating the shit out of everybody, and then just kept it going and just taking out one person one by one by one by one. It's like, this is too much. So it would have been fine if it was just a good match and a definitive winner and no bloodline.
Now, I mean, I kind of feel like it tied into what you were arguing about earlier with me, as far as like this, like Roman comes out, he runs the show. There's nothing you can do to stop him. He does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. And this is him making his presence felt. You're not going to decide the number one contender on me. I'm going to take everybody out.
Yeah, but a villain doesn't have a good arc if there's not a hero to go against or anything like that. That's the thing. You need a good counterpoint. You need a alpha to an omega. You need a hero to go against the villain. And they have built none. Instead of trying to build, they failed to build one. Instead, they just built some.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I mean, again, I think that's a great way to look at it. And I think that's why we were kind of like, fantasy booking of, Roman versus Orton. That's going to be a fun match, even if Orton doesn't win. Maybe AJ goes on to feud with LA. Now, the same things we theorized might happen between Rumble and an Elimination Chamber now. But yeah, I don't know. Wasn't my favorite SmackDown. I mean, being that Raw was on such a hot week, WWE had such a hot week, this wasn't my favorite of the shows. I would argue Raw was better than SmackDown.
I'd argue Raw was better than. My order would go Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
Yeah, fair
NXT enough. To me, I think was the weakest show out of the three, respectfully.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, especially with two matches being trained, like two big matches being dramatically changed. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Day of show.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't love Dynamite this week, so yeah, I mean, Raw might take the cake for this. This might be a Raw week unless Collision's got a trick up its sleeve.
And that confirms hell has frozen over with CM Punk being on Monday Night Raw. Raw is the best show of the week.
We'll figure that out, right? Let's go. This match still rolls on, folks. We still got the trios going between a bunch of people. 8 out of 10. 9. Oh, JJ liked it. 0. No Trish. See money. I respect that. But we did get Scarlett. There's no points for Scarlett.
I like that C Money's keeping on the tradition there from Chris LeClaire for all the OGs in the crowd.
Right? Maybe that is
always no Trish, 0 out of 10. Right? I hate the show. You have Trish, 10. No Trish, 0.
Maybe that's what the C stands for.
7.5. We caught you red-handed.
Great show. My brothers have a blessed night. Thank you, Jordan Smith. 7.5 out of 10. So is Roman smashing all three of these men at Rumble to make him more of a monster, unstoppable heel? Maybe. Feels that way.
No, because again, like I said, is Batman great when he beats up one villain that shows that he's, the comparable, or when he's going through a fucking rogues gallery of everybody that's mid-tier at best?
But when you have a villain so big and the Justice League has to come together, and we got to team up to take this man down.
Yeah, but then no.
I'm just saying.
No. So what? We've got LA Knight, the Green Lantern, Cody Rhodes is Superman.
Right.
But Randy Orton's got to be Batman there. I hear voices in my head. So no, or would AJ Styles be Batman because he's dark and brooding right now?
KO match was good. I agree. EO's match was good. Pretty good, not great. AOP return, good. Main event was good. What's not to like? Yeah, I like that's why I think I'm
the other half of the show.
That was no, but KO's match went long, which was great. Oh well, you
mentioned an hour of the show. There's a whole second hour.
Well, plus he had a main event in there, which started out with 30 minutes left. So that's half of the second half. Tyler Bate returns for a tag match. That was a good, okay match. Again, right. I don't hate the show. It missed something. Like I needed a little bit of spice on my meatball.
It's 100%. We expected more than what we got.
So maybe that's my fault. Yeah.
No, this is not one of those of no, we built up into the hype. No, this under-delivered. Oh, Swanton Bomb. Oh.
What if they are able to go in Rumble after?
Elbow drop for Mark Briscoe. 1, 2, 3.
Ding, ding. This is an interesting thing because and it has been in the past that the Rumble match is last. The men's Rumbles match is last. So Roman defends his belt in a fatal 4-way prior to the Royal Rumble. And then the losers of the match, assuming the 3 contenders, then go in the Rumble. I don't love that either, though.
Now, does he open the show or does the Women's Rumble open the show?
I imagine the Women's Rumble is going to open the show. I imagine. But again, I don't know.
But again, though, if you're not first, you're last type of situation there.
Yeah, but if you're booked
world champion.
Yeah, but if you're booked in with the two, like just like War Games, right? If you're booked in with the thing, you would be the last singles match in between the bookends.
I think that's even worse. Like
that's how they've done it in the past. That's how it's.
I know, but I'm just saying. I think that's even worse. Like that.
Well, but we all agree
worse for everybody involved because now you not only are you going to lose the match, but you have no chance of being at least even in the Rumble to at least maybe having an impressive performance there.
No, but if you do lose the match, then you can be in the Rumble, because the Rumble. Comes
no, you were saying if it was. I thought you were saying if it was like the co-main, it's not going to open the show. You said.
No, because you got a Rumble to open the show and a Rumble to close the show. And everyone agrees that the final kind of vision you have of Royal Rumble will be whoever wins the Rumble pointing at the logo. Oh, good. Jared Bloat.
Yeah. The Ayatollah of non-disclosure right now on the screen. The man of 1,004 NDAs with the man of 1,004 turns with Sammy Guevara. This man literally... give it a week and he'll be back to being a babyface or a heel or something or other.
Yeah. Willow versus Statlander next. Didn't they not fight already?
Yeah, and respectfully to Renee Moxley Good, but what in the name of Britney Spears' background dancer is she fucking winning right now? In this fucking interview. My loneliness is killing me. And I must invest. I don't give a shit about this interview.
Not at all. When was the last time you saw Roman in a match for his title that wasn't one-on-one? That's a good what might be Edge and Bryan.
Wait, what was the question? When's the last time you saw Roman in a match for his title that wasn't one-on-one? Yeah, it would be the smash them and stack them.
Right. So I get what Boston's saying is, we've done a lot of one-on-ones. Why not mix it up? Give you something a little spicy, a little bit extra.
Yeah, but give me something that warrants it. That didn't feel like it warranted it. Like to an extent of if you were going to do where it's a multi-person match, you could have done it in a different way than that.
What do you mean? Oh, then him coming out. Well, no, I mean, if how
everybody's got
would
a claim, so I can't decide who's got the biggest claim, so you all fucking face them instead of doing the match that called for it. And then because no one actually is going to win this match because the bloodlines hold court and Aldis is chicken shit, so he's got to sit there and just whisper it to Heyman of he just earned himself a fatal.
I don't think he actually whispered it. Again, we're having some issues here without Kevin Dunn. The new guy's struggling on the buttons. But yeah, I mean, for him, like you remember, Aldis had a bit of a smirk on his face. Like, okay, fine, that's what you want to do. Here's your answer. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's a bit of a struggle, right? Like, again, you wipe out all your challengers because you think then you don't have to fight anybody, so you fight everybody, I guess.
But even then, that's not bad. It's the fucking delivery, I guess.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm kind of torn.
Right.
Like Boston, I mean, yeah, it's warranted in my eyes. Roman thought he ran the show, and Aldis said, "Nope. Now you get to face all three of them. I don't see anything wrong with it."
Yeah, but he looked more like a hall monitor than a GM.
But what did you want Aldis to do? Like I said, yeah, maybe he could have like
fucking promo, anything. You're sitting there on goddamn right by the commentary desk. Sit there and grab a mic and say, "Roman, cut this off right now." Have some stones. You sat there and had the whole couch segment back and forth between them to where he was letting him know of this is my show, not your show. So act like it's your show.
But then again, I think it kind of goes against the character that he's presented. He's calm, cool, collected. He strolls over to Paul and says, "Okay, I got you," without doing the extra stuff. And I agree. It might have helped if he did grab a microphone, but
he can be calm, cool, and collected on the microphone and say, "Now, Roman, sir, you might not want to keep doing this. Otherwise, it might be a bit detrimental to your situation at the Royal Rumble if you continue on with this. I'm going to give you your chance to step outside of the ring and let this match continue." And then he still keeps going. And then that's when he does it. He walks up to Paul and says, "Congratulations, he just earned himself a fatal four-way match." That's calm, cool, and collected. And he actually has some fucking stones instead of this chicken shit of just standing there at ringside.
I don't know if it makes a difference for me, but then does he look even more hapless if he's on the mic trying to talk, like beg the guy not to do it, and he does it anyway?
Beg him. You tell him,
but like, hey, don't do that.
Now,
don't do that.
Or this is what's going to happen.
But then if Roman completely ignores him, does it not make
him?
Then
you fuck him. Then that's what happens. Then you end it that way. Then you still
does he not end up just looking like a gas station employee with no authority? Like, don't steal. Oh fuck, you're gone.
No. If we're gonna have that as the ending of, he sits there and tells Paul this of congratulations, he just earned himself a fatal four-way. He has the calm, cool, collected moment of like your parent of, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed." Of, "I'm going to give you your chance to let you fuck yourself up." And
but I don't know.
I'm tell you don't do it, and then when you still do it,
maybe. I
mean, nothing. He sat there and just did nothing.
Yeah, but I mean,
something is better than nothing.
But his something is the punchline. The end of the show is his moment where he turns around and says, "All right, fuck you. This is what you get for that."
We've all said the ending of the show is probably the weakest moment. So why do you not want to fix it?
Well, like I said, I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here of like, but what really could he have done? Like, I don't feel like this moment really changed. I didn't expect him to get in there and get physically involved. I didn't expect him to really. Again,
what in the fucking name of a 90s Old Navy commercial is happening right now on AEW's Rampage here with Jake Hager, Daddy Magic, all of this. Literally.
I agree, Smooth.
Anna Jay versus Hikaru Shida coming up next or later tonight. Oh, this is the match that you might want to. Yeah, I figure this is where he's going to pause here, as we're getting Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander versus Kennedy Hardcastle and Notorious MIMI, the Mimi. Oh, where's Drew Carey with the Mimi? As Stokely out here. They don't even work here, but God bless them. Man's out here doing his best, goddamn. Teddy Long. Yeah, this is very interesting right now, and I find it very interesting of how much Stokely Hathaway seems to be involved between Statlander and Willow the Pillow. As he's instantly cut the music, ring the bell, and send out security. The security will get tossed, and we know security always does. He didn't even do that. He didn't even do that. That's the thing, is even if you say you didn't want him to cut a promo or anything, he didn't even do that. He didn't act like he had any bit of authority, and he sat there and already had the whole back and forth with Roman on the couch there of, this is my show, you're not going to fucking bully me. And literally Roman just was out there and just kind of dog walked him. And I get, cool, if you think that that's what helped spin up Roman. I don't think Roman needed it. I think Aldis needed it to have control over SmackDown and build him up as an actual individual character. And for the time when Roman isn't there, there's still a continuation of a story, or there's even a play out of a story to where maybe we get Aldis versus Roman down the line, or maybe we joke about it and Aldis has it in for Roman and we play up that whole thing. There was way better ways to go about that than what they did, in my opinion. As we're getting Statlander and Willow, who I think is very clearly the favorites here, versus respectfully the team of local enhancement talent. No offense to Kennedy Hardcastle and the notorious Mimi. Again, every time I think of just, Drew Carey show with Mimi with the clown paint and everything like that. Then again with the notorious B.I.G. But I've got Willow right now. So again, give me your predictions for this match if you want to. If you're taking anybody outside of Statlander and Willow, I would be amazed to know why. But we're getting very clearly back and forth tag team action here of literally just a train of tag in suplex, tag in scoop slam, tag in scoop slam. This Gus is ridiculous, thicker than a sticker. Oh, this Gus. Who's what now? Who are we saying is thicker? What? I don't know. Jamie, keep it to yourself. There's this thing called intrusive thoughts. Sometimes you don't always need to type them out. The Thick Twins for the win. Respectfully, I mean, that could be either team. This match is brought to you by Snickers, I feel. Why the babyface is having a squash match? Because Stokely Hathaway, that's really what it is. Because heel authority figure that apparently only can have a say in matches when it comes to Chris Statlander and Willow. He has no fucking say in any other match that I know of, unless it deals with Chris Statlander or Willow. And where's Jerry Lane? It's sad that we get more women's matches on Rampage than AW. Well, same company, just different show, I guess. And I think it's more, honestly, at times I feel they really need to fill them. And respectfully, we're getting 2 tonight. I think they just seem more because they're condensed within an hour versus 2 hours. As Statlander right now, big side scoop slam, and then a little bit of a blue thunder bomb. Slammed one opponent on the other.
The spine buster for the win.
You're already
setting
there?
up these two to be your first ever women's tag champions.
Oh, we're gonna get tag titles. I just got the spine buster, so I'm a hop, skip, and a jump behind you, but we're fine.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah. I mean, we're rolling along through Rampage. We're rolling. It's interesting.
Stokely seems so excited about this right now.
Yeah, Bivens. I mean, that's my favorite part of this.
He wants to very much, quote unquote, recruit Statlander, but I don't think you're that far off of. Mm-hmm. I feel Tony will introduce a women's tag belt because when you can't book, you cover up. So he'll add tag titles just to make it seem like he's giving a shit more about the women's division.
Yeah, and that's not
this
really
will be your women's division, your inaugural women's tag team title holders.
Matt and Jeff Hardy. This one's for you.
What did I feel like I'm gonna be blue in the face with saying this? He didn't need to cry on the mic. He just needed to actually put some fucking baritone in his voice and everything, and act like you've been here before and act like you run the shit.
But again, I don't quite understand that. Like, I think he observed and went, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Here's the response to your actions, and he gets the last laugh and walks off. Like, I don't think
Tell me on the back and forth. Like I'm confused though of we all didn't like the ending. I'm pitching a different ending, and everyone's like, well, why didn't you like the original ending? Well, we all didn't like the original ending. So why is it
I don't like the fact that we're getting a fatal four. I don't love the fact that we're getting a fatal four-way at all. I mean, it was not my first choice. But all this wasn't the issue in the situation for me. Like him doing more or less wouldn't have changed anything.
There was
and him trying to do more. There. What's that?
I said there was multiple issues. I feel that.
And again, trying to build him up as like, again, he's still the authority figure. He's still got the last laugh. I mean, I don't think that him doing more, I think might have actually made
laugh. He had the last whimper.
But he gets to say, haha, fuck you. Like, he gets the last laugh because he now puts Roman in a
Roman showed up and fucked up your main event. How's that the last laugh?
Because you just forced him to defend his title against 3 other men instead of 1. Yeah. That's the last laugh. That's your exclamation point, is it not?
But you had to sit there and whisper it.
Well, I think that was more of an audio.
By the window.
Yeah, I think that was more of an audio issue. But I mean, him going up to Paul.
My guy, like he
representative. That's perfect.
Declare that shit on a microphone again.
No, because Roman and that. No. See, what you miss with that is Roman and the Bloodline are in the ring thinking high-fiving each other like we just killed it. Well, we're awesome. They don't know the bad news, and Paul's face was like, "Oh shit," and then looks up like, "I gotta go tell Roman the bad news." All right, like I mean, I didn't love the result, but I don't like Nick Aldis being like less of a manager because of this. It doesn't resonate with me. I don't feel that way. I mean, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what?
Oh, it's bad, but I give you something at least to be an alternative.
It wouldn't have changed
bad as well.
That's not an alternative. It would have just been more fucking shit on the pile. Like it would have made him look worse for him to be on the mic being ignored. Maybe like for him just to like, no, Roman, stop it. And Roman's like, fuck you. Then he looks even more hapless.
I don't even know about that. I think that looks more like that gets a point, your point across more of Roman being so indifferent of, no, I run this fucking show, and you sell that conflict more than Nick Aldis just sitting there like fucking Johnny Bench just looking at everything happening.
But just like, okay, this is what you want to do.
He didn't even do that though. Like he's not even doing this, nothing. He's just literally.
I don't know. I mean, I'm struggling. I don't think all this was the problem with the situation. And I don't think he comes out.
He was not the only problem. I think he would have been the easiest problem to fix.
Yeah, but I don't know if your fix would have made him look better. I don't think it would. I don't. Like, I struggle to.
Is that a statement more of how shitty that situation was, that there was no salvaging it?
Well, some people, like, I mean, even just now, like, just seeing what's happening, like, a lot of people kind of feel like it was pretty good. Like, they're pumped for a fatal 4-way. I don't love a fatal 4-way. I thought
because their favorite didn't lose.
Maybe. That's a valid argument.
Too bad all of their favorites are about to lose.
Yeah, all 3. He's going to stack 3 guys.
Right, all 3 of them.
Yeah, the Stokely thing's weird because Stokely's like the GM of Ring of Honor, yet he seems to have vested interest in certain people. And like, again, it feels like he's trying to encourage Willow and Stat to be a tag team. I feel bad for Statlander because when she lost the TBS title, I thought she was going to go towards the main title and like challenge Toni Storm. And instead she's in a fucking Ring of Honor feud.
Yeah, instead she's going towards the Ring of Honor TV title. You lost the Dynamite TV or the Collision TV title to go after the Ring of Honor TV title.
Yeah, like it's weird.
Well, and on this, I know you were on a pause while I said it, but Stokely has not been involved in any storyline outside of Willow and Statlander. That's it.
Yeah, he's just fucking. Well, I mean, again, I know I stopped watching Ring of Honor weekly, but he's had a presence. Him, Tony, and Jerry Flynn are in this weird 3-headed monster. I don't know.
Jerry Lynn. Put some respect on Jerry Lynn,
What did I
not
say?
Jerry Flynn. You said Jerry Flynn.
Oh, vitamins are good, bro.
Jerry Flynn.
Right? Larry Flynn, let's go. Nick, catch on.
Fuck you mean?
Yeah, Roman would have mouthed off and ruined it. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I always remember those giant, moments where Vince was sitting there being an authority figure back at Stone Cold Steve Austin and everything like that, and Stone Cold fired back at him and everything like that, and vice versa or anything like that. And it was so terrible that the guy that's supposed to think he runs the fucking place goes back at the authority figure or anything like that. How terrible for that to be a fucking thing.
In this scenario, would Vince would stand there with that big ugly look on his face going, damn you, Austin. And that's it. You just pouted and would have looked like a hapless schmuck. Where all this was very calm, composed.
Send the fucking security guards and they get 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, maybe, or whatever. And then that's what sets up of all of that. And then you establish Roman as this fucking badass that we haven't seen because he hasn't wrestled in how many months.
Yeah, but Roman just took out the 3 top contenders. That doesn't you need him.
He did with 4 other people.
Well, that's the bloodline. That's how they roll. Like you needed him to beat up security guards to make him look better.
I'm just trying to make the situation better than what it was.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I just think the situation. My issue is I wanted a one-on-one match for Rumble, but other than that, I mean, the situation is what it is. He used his authority by telling Heyman he now gets to face them all. I guess to each their own, but I see Aldis standing up to him by giving him all 3 at the Rumble. Yeah. Yeah.
And he could have done that and also still actually stood up.
But yeah, I don't see how. I don't see how he was standing the whole time, to be honest. But no, that's being funny. Yeah,
Just gazing.
Yeah, I don't know what you wanted him to do. Like jump up on the apron and shake his fist. I don't know.
No, why everybody? I literally played it out of everybody's like, oh well, you all like thinking that I wanted him to sit there and kick and scream and throw a fucking temper tantrum. He can still sit there and just cut a calm, cool, collected promo and act like the authority figure, and then just let Roman fuck himself over. You can literally still have the same ending segment. I'm trying to do it to where you still have the same ending moment. He still walks over and talks to Paul and everything like that. But at least give him a moment to where he acts like an authority figure for half a second instead of just ball gazing at fucking Roman fucking up his entire show.
Yeah, see, that's where I get confused because I feel like him looking at the advocate of Roman Reigns, who was in the ring thinking he did good, and going, all right, tell your client he fucked up. He's going to fight all 3 of these guys. That's his moment of being an authority figure, opposed to doing all the other stuff. Like I don't know how that helps him look being.
Oh, he looked so great with that. We just kept cutting to him just staring at him.
Just stand there like, yeah, you're fucking up my shit. Now I'm gonna go deal with you.
But no, he didn't even look indifferent or anything. That he's literally just staring there, watching, just shocked as everybody else. It's like you can make a fucking difference. You're supposed to be the general manager of the show.
But how would he have made a difference in this situation? How would it have changed anything?
Are we not the same people that have always said that these general managers on WWE television has been nothing but fucking walkovers and everything?
Yeah, but I don't feel like he was a walkover.
This guy to actually not look like a walkover.
How was he a walkover? He was a walkover if he had no response, but he had a response.
His response was a whisper.
But it's the biggest statement, and you don't have to yell the biggest statement. The biggest statement is "fuck you." You now have
defending an ending you didn't even like.
I know it's the best part. But what's up, Chris? What's
You're arguing with me about shit you didn't like.
Well, I just don't. I think like I don't see the issue with all this in the situation.
I'm not saying it's the only issue. I'm just trying to make something fucking better, and everyone's like,
But I don't think it makes it better. I think that's
what we had. Well, you didn't like what we had.
Yeah, that's my argument. Is I don't think what you're suggesting makes anything better. I don't think we get like, oh, thank God he was, visibly like he took his jacket off,
and that's fine. It's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. But I don't see it. And this match,
I'm at least acknowledging that this sucked. Y'all seem to just be like, well, what you're saying at least didn't suck. It sucks more than what we said.
No, I think for us is like I said, for me, I didn't love the idea that we're going into a fatal 4-way. I think that's a bit of a chicken shit way of not picking a favorite. But yeah, I think the actual like Roman coming out looks dominant. He actually got involved, which I was bitching about a half an hour ago. I mean, it all kind of lines up. And again, like no DQ, so we can't do shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what all this could have done to make that segment like it would we be sitting here right now going, that was so good the way Roman
then fine. Just don't have him at ringside. Don't have him at ringside. And then he walks out and he comes out and whispers that. There, fine. Fucking happy medium there. We all can agree on that.
I can accept that. Maybe
either way, that they presented us sucked ass. Can we agree on that at least?
No. No,
there's no pleasing you, so I'm pleased.
There you go. Nick had enough of my shit. Honestly, I think what happens with Elektra and Lola joins Santos, Angel, and Humberto. Roxanne Perez joins Zelina Vega. That's a whole lot of booking, my friend. Is there something there? Maybe with Lola, or maybe. I think Zelina might be set up for Andrade when we get Andrade, if we get Andrade. I think there's options there. But again, that sounds crazily overbooked a little bit. But this match rolls on right now. Shida in control of Anna Jay. Match went through a commercial break. I'm actually surprised the match is still going. TK push Anna Jay, please. Yeah, I mean, Anna Jay's got some upside. She's a little bit on the green side, but she looks great. She's got some talent, and I would argue some more than some others. We get the Meteor from the top, followed by the kick. And it's over. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Hikaru Shida. Ding, 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 ding. It just doesn't make sense to have a fatal 4-way when you have an elimination chamber right after the Royal Rumble. Facts. I'll accept that. But remember, the elimination chamber is going to be a bunch of contenders, so it generally isn't the champion. So that would be my defense there. But again, I kind of wanted, a winner to come out of this. I think that was my disappointment, right? Like, I think I wanted to see, Randy Orton with his hand raised, and we're building that kind of rivalry, right? I even surmised that maybe LA Knight and AJ would get in a feud, or Randy and AJ could get in a feud. The two guys that didn't win get mad at each other. That to me was my issue. Again, Roman coming out and getting involved. Again, because I wanted a result, I didn't love the squashing of the match, but it is what it is. Right now, I'm in the back with Jeff Jarrett and crew. Sanjay and Karen. It feels like Jay Lethal not on the same page. What up, Chris? I think we got that one. Let's see. Hey, Beard, pause. What beard? You got to be more specific. Roman is no Austin. Yeah, I don't agree. And again, the rivalry is not the same. There was hatred between Vince and Stone Cold. They had a rivalry that they were stemming on. To me, Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns wouldn't cause a call for that, right? Like, does Aldis get in the ring and eat a spear? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I guess Aldis should have screamed "Wall Games." Yes, right? Like, or grabbed the mic and said, keep in mind, if he grabbed the mic and announced, "All right, Roman, fine," and I said maybe that could have worked, but it didn't change the end result for me. So all this telling Paul, it's a fatal 4-way, and Roman, and you in the background, you see the bloodline all proud of themselves. That's kind of the caveat, right? That's kind of the haha, fuck you. You might think you run things. You might think you're fucking up my plans, but you went from having a 50% chance of winning, keeping your title, to a 25% chance of keeping your title. Congratulations. Think the Fatal 4-Way works. All three guys have unfinished history with the bloodline, and those packages showed. Facts, Carlos. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Carlos. I mean, I get that. I do. And again, I just felt like, I don't know. Usually I'm really good with SmackDown, and I'm pretty positive, but I think I'm trying to hold everybody to the same, hold everybody to the same candles, the same flame. I really think that, I don't know, something just missed tonight. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just me. I agree with Nick. Instead of telling Roman Reigns himself about the Fatal 4-Way, he tells Heyman and walks away. Come on, man. Get in the man's face. Tell him man to man all this. Okay. That's fair. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I could see where you're coming from on that for sure. That could Nick Aldis kind of flex that way? Yeah, maybe. Overruled. There you go. What was the record of the prediction champ? I can't remember. Anna Jay should have been AEW Women's Champion. No, Damien, that's incorrect. No. See, the problem is, and that's the thing where people get that biased view. When you only watch certain wrestling, Anna Jay, yeah, she's got something there, but her talent needs to be harnessed and developed. She needs time to get better. She needs time to grow. And in this environment, she hasn't really done that. Her as women champion would just expose that she's not a great wrestler. Now you're bringing in Serena Deeb, you're bringing back Serena Deeb, you're bringing in Deonna Purrazzo. You have an opportunity to see real quality wrestling. Anna Jay's not at that level yet. She's pretty. She can go to an extent, but then you get the sloppiness, you get the clunkiness, you get the botches, and that makes the women's wrestling look bad. Smoothie, Bo Dallas is reuniting the Wyatt family. Can't wait. YouTube, type in Unmasking the Dark Secret. Yes, I've done this, Smooth. I've seen a bunch of these. Some of them are fan made. Some of them, at least one of them is supposed to be from Bo and be genuine. Bo Dallas approaching it the way he is, I think it's phenomenal. Bring back, red beards in the Royal Rumble. I like this idea. And again, I know Nick and I have debated it. I don't mean, mimic your older brother, but your older brother, the way he explains it is the tragic loss of my brother has affected me horribly. He has left me in darkness. And now everyone around me is going to deal with this darkness. And that becomes the next version, the next book, not even the next chapter, the next edition of the Wyatt family story, right? Out of the pain, out of the tragedy comes, Taylor Rotunda, and we're going to go in a whole new direction. And this is how we are. We've still got that dark, eerie vibe because it's ingrained in who I am. That's who we were. And I think it could work. I really do. I'm excited about it, if nothing else. I would have just rathered him say it on the mic. Yeah, again, tomato. I don't think it changes much. 1, 2, 3, Sheeta. Agree, Keyshawn. There was definitely more explosive way to do it, but it's not the deep. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, was there an opportunity for all this to say, hey, Roman? I think they were going for what I kind of described. Now, whether it translated well or not, and I do think there was an audio issue. I really do, because it could have came through the TV a little clearer. But I think the idea was that Roman's in the ring. Now, Paul has to be the messenger, right? Paul has to be the guy to go tell Roman. But you kind of want to, if you're in the arena watching, you have no idea that just happened, right? So maybe all just grabbing the mic and saying, great job, Roman. Now you fight everybody. Maybe that has more of an impact. I could see that. Here's your boy. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Keyshawn must be happy. We're getting Jeff Jarrett. Right now, I'm getting a replay of the TNT title debacle that came out of World's End. And Adam Copeland will be on Collision tomorrow. Great match, ruined by a whole bunch of other bullshit. Casey, so how do we inject Cody back to SmackDown to challenge Roman Reigns? Do we get the winner to choose who we want at Mania? Yeah, I think so. I think if he wins, the winner of Elimination Chamber will go on to fight Roman Reigns, and he just happens to win it, and that's how you do that. I mean, we've seen them like bend the rules before. We've seen the draft not matter at all. So where there's a will, there's a way, Casey. They'll get there one way or the other. However, with Roman being a part-timer and only two PLEs left before Mania, WWE had to make a fatal four-way match, plus The Rock challenging him and Cody about to finish the story, kind of the only way. Well, that is part of my argument is if, say, Randy Orton wins tonight, and then for the next couple weeks, it's just Randy kind of arguing with the bloodline. It doesn't have that much of a zip to it. So Roman goes home for another couple weeks. He comes back the Friday before Rumble. And in the meantime, these three men all have to argue with each other. And it's a little more compelling, a little more interesting. Fair enough. I think this year Roman defends at Elimination Chamber, especially since it's in Australia. Yeah, Carlos, it's a high possibility. I still kind of had my prediction that perhaps it would be The Rock at Elimination Chamber because Chamber's such a big show. It remains to be seen. Badasses don't need to yell. They make a statement and walk away. Chair, that was kind of my argument. I have a comment on what they could have done to make it better further up, KJ. All right, well, Jesus. Do I come to your job and make you do things? I think I read it already, my guy. Will Jimmy and Solo be in the Rumble? And if one of them wins, Jimmy or Solo will probably both be in the Rumble, and neither of them are going to win. I actually think that Jimmy and Jay are going to get into it at the Rumble, and I really want Jimmy versus Jay at Mania, if I could have it my way. Roman clearly has a 33 and a third % chance till you recognize he's the tribal chief. There you go. Till you add another opponent and cut that in a little bit more. Orton, Knight, Styles, Cody will probably be likely to be in the chamber match, maybe Solo and someone else. Yeah, I mean, Cody for sure. Yeah, Cody, Randy, AJ makes sense. LA makes sense. Could they throw in a Jay and a Jimmy? Would it be 3 from one and 3 from the other? I don't know. All this has no marbles. Anna Jay did not win tonight. You know I'm right. I got Jesus on my side. Jesus. I agree, Chair. So, yeah. I mean, again, I like the fact that there's something to debate. Nick, you have a loaf of bread on your side. Laugh my ass off. It's actually just a wafer, to be honest. It's not even a loaf of bread. It's just a wafer. I think what happens, I think I got all that one. Let's go down a little further. How will KO be protected in the loss with Logan Paul? Again, I don't think he really needs to be protected. Logan Paul's an asshole. Logan Paul's going to cheat. A-Town and Waller are probably going to have something to do with that. But I think ultimately, because KO's KO, he's developed. You don't get buried on one night, right? You lose to Logan Paul. You give Logan Paul a chance to prove that he is who he is. But losing to Logan Paul is not going to hurt KO. KO show up and be KO. Speaking of showing up and being himself.
I'm not KO. I showed up to be with KO.
There you go.
But I am aware that I am an asshole. I really don't care. But yeah, no, I have I have communion there. I have
communion,
right? I have the wafer.
Yeah, you can place that. You can place that on your tongue and let it dissolve.
Pause on that.
Enough of you. Me and you were on the same page tonight, my guy. I ain't dancing for shit.
Well, no, I even had a whole thing because they had their own little moment of objection, overruled, sustained.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I was like, we could totally be lawyers. And I even said, Cage is going to click on this and be confused.
I did not. I just scrolled on by it. I read it all. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I was letting the boys kind of have their moment. Pause emphatically. There you go. There we go.
As
Punk
we've
and
got
Bailey win the Rumble.
Well, actually, I
Punk and
want
Bailey.
to touch on one thing as I've got Yuta rolling out right now as we're 226, 27 in first round of this match. But you mentioned about Solo being in the Elimination Chamber. I think that's a really good shout, actually. He's supposed to be the next tribal chief. He's there as like the hired gun that's supposed to keep Cody from winning the match.
Yeah, right. And then it's like you play on that idea of like, but if you won, what would you do? And it's like, but he doesn't win, so you never have to find out that answer. But yeah, it starts with you get in there and you save me, and then people start putting in his ear like, what if he wins?
But even then, you elevate Solo of now you're on that level of you're in a match with a Cody, with an LA Knight, with an AJ Styles, etc. You're in that level of a match.
Yeah, I agree with that. Who even holds the trios titles? Great question.
Which one, Ring of Honor or AEW? McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines are confusing.
Right? It's confusing all around.
Right? Don't make the suit animated or green.
The Acclaimed are still the trios titles, right? No? Yes?
They're the AEW trios titles. I think right now, currently, the Ring of Honor trios titles are the Gates of Agony, the Mogul or the Embassy with no Mogul. Because it was for a bit there, the Hung Bucks, and then they all had to take some time off because their wife got future endeavored.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. They got no respect.
Yeah, boo-hoo. You guys didn't defend my husband when he was acting like a spoiled little shit.
I was gonna say, I just need a constant cut of Booker T when he was in the main event Mafia with respect. Respect.
How long until the Kabuki Warriors get the tag belts? I don't know. Give it a minute. We had Isla and Alba show back up, so I don't know.
Man. When's Julia supposed to show up? At least past March, right? So maybe summer, around SummerSlam, maybe.
Right. I just saw a thing about apparently reports from inside WWE, or Julia speaks perfect well enough English, she'll be fine. That's just bullshit reporting.
I mean, either way, good on you. I think she's to me. And it's very interesting to look at it because I saw a lot of people that were very much of Will Ospreay's a guy that WWE should have gone after and missed the boat on. We saw people say that with Jay White. Maybe people say that if Mercedes goes to AEW, they say likewise. But I feel like WWE is now starting to sign people of more of, we're going to take you and make you our thing versus you were a thing and we're going to repackage you. Like going back away from the NXT Black and Gold era of, you had a name enough already, so I'm going to just sign you back and reestablish you, versus we'll make you fit into our system. You'll become our product versus a product in our system, in our catalog.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would kind of then, like we're talking about Camille and Jade and some of these signings that they are bringing in. Will Ospreay, I think it was more, they went after Ospreay, but Ospreay is a better fit for AEW, to be honest. The freedom that allows. So I think there's a bit of column A, a bit of column B with that for sure.
Fair enough. Well, you were going to be hard pressed to get them to move out of the UK. So,
yeah, but even beyond that, I think you're hard pressed to get them to come in and turn to the hard cam and do this. And
I don't know, him versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, I'm not saying the matches wouldn't be good. I mean, but being in their system, I think he would be worried about stymieing who he is, right? They would have brought him in and booked him all the
time. But I think he's a guy that isn't good, wouldn't be hindered by that system.
I think he was worried that he'd be hindered by that system.
Yeah,
That system would
very
cut him
valid.
at his
That's
knees.
valid.
Yeah, I think they were. I think Will Ospreay himself was worried that the WWE would cut him at the knees, change his name. You're now Will Pigeon. Like you're not Ospreay.
You're now Will Ptarmigan.
Yeah, fucking
Bill
Falcon
Bill
in the
Ptarmigan.
ring. Right? That's what I think is a lot of like if you're an established independent wrestler and you have this freedom to travel all over the world, have matches everywhere you want, and then you got to go and just wrestle where they want you to wrestle and be who they want you to be. That's might be clipping your wings a little.
Well, now there's been some people that have said, well, see, they were going to have Adam Cole be a manager, and now Adam Cole is kind of just a manager.
Yeah, right. Pretty much a one-legged manager at that.
He's Patchy the Pirate. Are you ready, kids?
Right?
Aye, devil. I can hear you.
Actually, someone pointed out the other day, or yesterday, the devil thing was to kind of fuck over MJF. Are they going to continue to wear like devil tracksuits forever now? Like, is that now their gimmick, their thing?
You took MJF's gimmick and just made it your own. Like now he's still walking out with the mask and still like
a little bit. I was just curious, right?
But I think again it plays into come 2025 when you hear that and the crowd's gonna erupt like it's the goddamn glass shattering.
Yeah, I mean, 2025 seems so far away.
Now we say that though, but we just went through 2023 at a fucking lightning speed.
Yeah, and a fucking
2024 is already setting up to be that times 10.
Yeah, I got Yuta going for a Kimura. Roman's going to need some woo energy for that fatal four-way. There you go.
Well, he'd have to cross enemy lines there to get it.
Mercedes and Trinity will come back and claim the titles they never lost. I think it's like Mercedes does not want to be anywhere near those tag titles. Even when she was tagging with Bailey, it always led to her quitting. Like fuck this shit.
I still think they're a little bit cursed. There's at least some stank on there. Still, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Will we see Braun at the Rumble? I'm almost surprised he wasn't I mean, obviously we got the gender segment, but I'm surprised he wasn't the, person walking up. But then again, you don't know. I don't know where he's at on his recovery.
Yeah.
Excuse me, recovery from his surgery.
Yeah, no, I think he needs a little more time. Apparently, it seems so. Yeah, no, I mean, I want to see Braun get back in there. I think he'll get a big pop. Yeah, he could have been the guy, but I guess we'll find out. I'm sure sooner than later.
Your big return is Nicholas. That's what
there you go.
He's going to come back looking more jacked and back in the Ultimate Warrior.
Right. Wheeler laying down elbows. This match continues. Any other Mania predictions for KJ and Nick? There you go. Yeah, let us know.
Well, no, I think he was asking.
No, it says for us. So I was just taking it for what it was. Any other predictions from us? Oh, he tapped out.
The tap or right now he's just getting. Now he got the tap.
Yeah, I think that's
smacking his ass.
I want Gunther Brock will be fun at Mania if we can get it. Jay versus Jimmy might be a good one. Yeah, I mean the main event of both nights. I mean we'll find out, but Punk, Seth, and Roman Cody seems to be the way to go. Could change.
I think those are your clear cut, probably two main events as Yuta picks up the win here and retains as Ring of Honor Pure Championship because it's not like Ring of Honor has its own show every Thursday on Honor Club to where you could have Ring of Honor Championship matches or anything like that. But there we go. You're just still constantly waiting for the thing to pop up. But I think Jimmy versus Jay happens. I think that's probably night one. Women's title obviously happens there. I almost want to guess of Rhea versus Jade.
Yeah, like I mean, I got Jade winning the women's rumble right now. So, like she's my pick, so I'd go with that.
Right. And then, like you mentioned about Brock Lesnar and Gunther, that's very clearly, I think, I would hope for that to happen there. That was
They might
even
save that for Berlin, though. I don't know.
Was that the end of the goddamn show already?
Yeah, that's it. We're good. That was the main event. So
that felt like a commercial break. I didn't even realize the show happened. All of a sudden I'm getting the Star Wars Phantom Menace, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, that's it. It was lickety split. So we're gonna wrap this one pretty quick, guys. So if you want to throw out a rating on Rampage, if you paid attention, we're not gonna dive too much into it. It was I mean, it was what it was. It's Rampage. Did you see Brock Lesnar's daughter? Oh my God, broke. Yeah, you know she is mini tank for sure.
Yeah, you can tell who her father is 100%.
Yeah. Bailey versus Io is interesting because Bailey could technically win the Rumble and challenge Io.
I thought though we were going to get a 4 horsewoman versus damage control match at Mania, but especially with Charlotte getting hurt, it's starting to look like that might be unlikely. Maybe her contract's up in March. It would be interesting if maybe that's you get Julia that steps in instead as like a replacement, or even if you get Bianca and Julia involved in that. It'd be very interesting, but we'll see.
Sure.
We'll see.
Jade good enough to wrestle on a big show? She will be. She's been doing nothing but training for months now. And the clips I'm seeing, she's looking ready.
I was going to say, and shout out to not exactly your neighbors, but at least your fellow countrymen there of TJ and Natty with having their version of the dungeon, open to anybody and everybody from any sort of promotion. And you saw clips of it from Jade Cargill was training there. I think there was 1 or 2 other people even
Ricky
from
Starks,
UW that were training there recently. Like, as much as we will joke and tee-hee and everything, like Natalia and all of that, what her and her husband have done to better pro wrestling behind the scenes is vastly underrated.
No, I mean, again, I think she's a Hall of Famer, a legend in women's wrestling. Yeah, when we give her a hard time because she's a little past her expiration date as far as getting that reaction from a crowd or anything. Nobody seems to give a shit. But I mean, again, I don't want to take away from what she offers the wrestling business. And yeah, we saw Ricky Starks rolling around in the dungeon. We saw Jade in there. They're getting Jade ready, and Triple H said it. We want her to be ready for a push of epic proportion.
Starks to WWE in 2024, I guess, confirmed because he was out there training with Natty and everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I ranted and raved about Starks. Starks is fucking gone. I'm sure, like, he's fucking ready to go, man. Like, get out of here. Like, the minute my fucking contract's up, I'm fucking done.
My bags are packed and I'm ready to go. Because I'm leaving on a con plane. Don't know when I'll be back again.
Rhea Becky's, a lot of people have rumored that. Io Bailey for sure. 6 out of 10. C Money, 10 out of 10. Best Rampage of the year. Love that. But no Trish, my guy. No Trish.
All the way wrong.
All right. I like that, though. Rampage is the house that Jeff Jarrett built. But
it's built by fucking Tim the Toolman Taylor, I feel. You might get shocked if you fucking turn on a light switch and the roof may collapse in on you.
Right? No, 100%. Rampage was Rampage, folks. It was what it was. Not gonna act like we actually paid a whole lot of attention to it. Smackdown was a weird show tonight. Not bad. I mean, overall, I thought it was good. Not great. I don't know. I mean, I might have to rewatch it and see if I enjoy it better the second time. But definitely mixed reviews. But folks, I will remind everybody who's still with us, read all of it. No. I will remind everybody we are back tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one. And then make sure you tell all your friends, like, subscribe. We are blown up by the minute, and we appreciate all of you for being here tonight. That's all I got, guys.
Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talk about the wrestling, you're going to put that for life with it.
See you on the flip side, folks. Come back tomorrow. Bye.